What's up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline. We missed you guys. We weren't here last week. We had some stuff going on, but we're back this week. And what a week! What a week that this week has been, guys. There's been a tremendous amount of stuff teased, a bunch of stuff announced. Indiana Jones. He made his way onto the pre-order list here on Sideshow. So, for all of us that were really worried about that one, I'm sure you all really excited about that. I know I was ready to pull the trigger in Hong Kong very soon myself, so I'm definitely glad I waited. But so great to have 13 people here already. We got a great panel here. I'll say what's up to everybody in the chat. And also, guys, before we get started, saying what's up to everybody, I did hit 2,000 subscribers over this past week and a half or so. So I just wanted to say, guys, from the bottom of my heart, it's crazy that you guys are still watching me after all this time. So I very much appreciate it. I really do appreciate all the support on the videos, on the live streams, and I appreciate y'all being here. So we will have a giveaway, some special plan for that closer to Christmas time. I'm about to go on vacation in a couple of weeks. So probably when we get back, I know Lane mentioned he has something to give away, and it's really cool. So on top of that, of course, we're going to have more prizes because it's 2,000 subs. So thank you so much, everybody, for supporting. I very much appreciate it. But let's see what's up. Some guy says I'm flexing the Hulk. Dude, he's my buddy. Chris asked me why he's still here on my desk. I love him there. And then Sean, for once, agreed with me. Sean was like, yeah, he's perfectly fine there. So I've got my buddy Hulk here chilling with me, watching over me while we stream. So let's say what's up to some people in the chat, and then we'll shout out everybody on the panel. We have one more person, I think, coming tonight. Lane will be joining us a little bit later. TK, he's one of our great moderators in the Discord and in the Facebook group. He says, justice for USB lightsabers. Yes, guys, we're going to take a look, starting right off the bat. We're going to take a look at the Grand Inquisitor, and I'm going to show you guys a clip of that USB lightsaber just to clear up everybody's mind, because I know a lot of people are like, what's the USB lightsaber like? We're going to take a look at that. So what's up, TK? Thank you so much for being here. We got some guy here. Some guy's another one of our fantastic moderators, always here early. Some guy says, what is up, my favorite peoples? Make sure you smash that like button. Yeah, guys, I really, really much appreciate it. This is our first stream after hitting 2K subs, so let's pump up those likes, guys. But thank you so much, Manny, for always being here. I very much appreciate you. This is a familiar face I always love seeing. My boy Eddie Rodriguez here with a sick Deathstroke profile picture. He says, what's up, Hot Toys Hotline fan? What's up to you, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Always great to see you. Based on the era of films that I know you like, Eddie, I think maybe some of these announcements and teases from this week you're going to be pretty happy about. So I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on some of that stuff. It's so great to have you here as always. Another one of our great moderators, Ty, is here with an awesome a lot of great profile pictures. I got to get something cooler than just my logo, I feel like. Ty says, hello, lovely collectors. Excited to see tonight's show. Beep, beep, Richie. Yeah, it's a little, if you guys haven't seen the tease yet for the new Sideshow figure coming out, there's a little sneak peek from Ty. We're going to take a look at that during the stream as well. But that's one of the most exciting things from this week, and I cannot wait to talk about that with you guys. Let's see who else we got here. I'm just scrolling through, guys. Control Delete is here. I don't know if you made it back in yet. I guess I'll see as I scroll down. Control Delete says, morning all. Good morning to you. Going for my morning walk. I'll be back. I need to start doing that. That's a good ritual. Morning walk. Some people do ice baths. Some people drink coffee. Control Delete's doing his morning walk. Although I do leave pretty early for work, so I'd have to get up super early for that. But always great to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. I see Boba Fettuccine in here saying what's up to everybody. What's up, Boba Fettuccine? So great to have you here as always. And I'm also very interested to hear your thoughts on all this stuff, because I feel like some of this stuff definitely interests you as well, because I know your style of collecting. So very interested to hear your thoughts. And again, guys, there's a lot to wade through. So get strapped in, because there's a lot to talk about this week. Let's see. Scrolling through here, guys. As always, Payton 23, the gift master, is here. Guys, if you're in the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group, in the chat, Payton's always on top of it with the gifts. We call him the gift master. He's recently coined that. So if you haven't already, there's a link in the description, guys. Head on over to the Facebook group. It's a fun time. We always post all the announcements really early on, right when they get dropped, and we always have chats about it and everything. So definitely head on over. Let's see who else we got in here. Big Dog Pound, I hate to say I cheated, but, Chris and I saw that you snuck in here before we started. So I told Chris to get ready. I don't know if he's ready. He's not ready. You always have to be ready for Big Dog Pound. Chris, you're normally the fly on the spot, ready to go guy. And we had a heads up on this one.
BDP. Woo!
He changed it up for you this week. We had something funny we were going to say to you, and I completely forgot it. I don't know if you remember. I didn't remember it, but maybe if we remember later, we'll say that. Manny says, who already pre-ordered that bad John Wick? I think a lot of people probably did. I haven't dropped my pre-order for it yet. I did grab Kane, but because the other one I have to get from Sideshow because of the exclusive. We're going to talk about that later, but I'll probably be pre-ordering mine very soon. Big Dog Pan says, damn, Howard Chan's Hot Toys is bringing all the boys and girls to the yeah, absolutely, especially this week. There's some crazy stuff coming through this week. And towards the end of last week too, right? We had Grand Admiral Thrawn, which we're going to, I mean, we can't not talk about Grand Admiral Thrawn, right? So certainly we're going to cover Grand Admiral Thrawn tonight. I know a lot of people are really hyped about that one, including myself. But I have some interesting thoughts on that one because there's been some thoughts about maybe some inaccuracies with it, which of course we're going to talk about that this stream. Let's see who else we got here. 12-inch Moose Dream. What's up, my friend? He says, greetings, community of collectors. 35% off at Sideshow. Hold my beer. Yeah, that's a great deal. I don't remember the code off the top of my head. If one of you guys know the code, please drop it in the chat. I think it's Awesome Deal, maybe. Is that right? Awesome Deal. Is that what it is? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Drop it in the chat. Yeah, there's another promo going on. It's not as many figures, though. They cut off a lot of them. Amazing deal. Thank you. Amazing deal.
Gonna have to take a look.
Some guy says you better bring it tonight. This crowd is amped up. Yeah, we're ready to go, man. We're ready to go. And Matt is here. Matt,
question is, are you ready to go?
Yeah, exactly. Are you guys ready to go? I know when Matt saw this thumbnail, he was going to be in here like swimwear, if you will. Matt says Grand Admiral Thrawn. And yes, Matt was riding for the Thrawn with the rest of us. I know he's really excited for it. And guys, I'm really excited to talk about that one because I really think it's a fantastic offering from Hot Toys. So I can't wait to talk about that one very shortly. Let's see. Matt said this is the hardest trio to ever be in one photo. I guess he's talking about the thumbnail. Yeah, there's some great stuff there. And all that stuff we're going to talk about tonight. Don't worry. Long live the Hot Toys. I love it. Excuse me. Let's see. Evil Sneaker is here saying, what's up to Big Dog Pound? What's up, Evil Sneaker? I hope you're doing well, dude. Always great to have you here. Thank you so much for dropping in. And guys, if you haven't already, head on over to Evil Sneaker's channel. I highly recommend, I mentioned it last stream, but check out the stream that he did with Chris Collecting Madness here. It was very fun to watch, even though I knew a lot of that stuff about him. Some of the stuff I didn't know. So it was really cool to check out. So head on over if you haven't already. Thank you, everybody. Excuse me for saying congrats on 2K subs. Thank you so much. I really much appreciate it. Let's see. Don Prime is here. What's up, Don? Don says, yo, yo, yo. What's up, Don? Don, I know a lot of this stuff you were talking about in the chat definitely interests you. Especially, I think you're going to be excited about that Chuck Norris figure because, you're one of the people there with Sean talking about the inaccuracies and stuff with that because it's something that you're very knowledgeable about. So definitely excited to hear your thoughts on that. Let's see. We have 16 Star Wars Pimpazoid, one of my favorite usernames up there with Boba Fettuccine. Pimpazoid says, just picked up 4 more Stormtrooper Commanders for my Obi-Wan series display with that Halloween discount from Sideshow. That's the way to do it, man. With the stuff right now, these crazy deals on this old stock, definitely take advantage of those deals. If you're army building, I mean, there's really no better time to do it, right? So congrats on that. That's awesome. Let's see. TK said, just added a bunch of Marvel stuff to the code today. Remember, it's a one-time use. Yeah, and I know there was an issue with that, guys. Someone, I think, placed an order and then canceled their order. TK had brought it up, and then they weren't able to use the coupon because it's a one-time usage limit. So make sure if you're going to use that coupon, you coordinate it that way to where you don't miss out. And also, guys, again, before we get started, I want to say what's up to everybody on the panel. We have Chris, the Collecting Madness here, of course. Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare, and Mike Licorice. He's changed his name, I guess there's going to be a new thing, Mike. You gotta have to have a new name every week now. We're going to hold you to it. So
yeah, I think I might have to do that.
And maybe the cosplay will jump into that. With the wig you had the one time. I've been waiting for the return of some sort of surprise from Mike. But maybe one day on one stream he'll just pop up and look crazy. Who knows?
Yeah, when you least expect it, it'll happen.
Yeah. Mike, did you have your quick unboxing ready? So guys, this is a real quick thing before we get started. I don't know how many of you guys ordered the the very controversial Batman Begins Batman from Sideshow on this deal. I know I did. And then Mike was like, look what I got. And I was like, no way. So I ordered it hoping that mine was a matte finish, because a lot of the early ones were shiny. I've seen, Sean got like the God copy. His is perfect, in terms of the matte finish on it. So I was like, before we get this started on the stream, let's let Mike open it up real quick. Cause I'm very curious. And I'm sure some of you guys probably ordered this as well. So My theory was maybe they fixed it in the final batch for this figure. So, Mike, without further ado, let's see. Maybe turn the window towards the camera. Let's do something fun here.
Sure. All right. Let's see if we can tell through the window.
Bro, I can't tell. Can you
Not
tell?
No.
No.
It looks matte. So far, it looks
Too
matte.
much glare.
Too
It's all
much
good.
glare.
Matt Gate.
All right. Let's see here
All
because
right, here we go.
I held off on this figure like a lot of other
Crack
people did.
it open.
I've already got the OT Customs cape for it, and I've got on pre-order the custom cowl and mouth plates from him as well.
Nice.
But
So,
The
Mike, let me
figure.
ask you something. What is something like that run for the whole set?
So the cape, he was running like a 15% off. I think I got the cape for like $38.
That's not bad at all.
And then there's 3 or 4 different like ways you can buy the cowl. So you can get it with 1 faceplate, 3 or 4. I went with the 3 option, and I think it was like around $300 for the painted cowl and the 300 I think 320, 300, something like that. For 3 faceplates and the painted cowl.
Yeah, so that's something obviously like if you really like the character, it's a huge upgrade. I know I've seen that in a few photos, and I'm like, that's a huge difference. So it is pricey, guys, but that's what you pay for custom, well done work. So
yeah, and Justin has a great comparison where he shows the original one and the OT Customs version. Actually, the one he shows, I don't know if it even has the rolling eye system, but the new OT Customs will. So it's got rolling eyes and everything. So.
All right, here we go, guys.
Here
is
we
it
go.
Matt?
All right. Is it Matt? Let's see.
Don says the survey says. Guys, I'm going to cry on camera if it isn't because I ordered this.
All right. Come on, baby. Okay, I'm not going to look. I'm going to look
Sean,
with you.
let's see if Sean had the very first God copy.
Dude, all the hands just fell out. I think... Dude, I think this is gloss. I think this is gloss. Hold on. I think it is, actually.
Uh-oh.
Which sucks.
So, guys, the stock may have just rose on Sean's copy because he's got, like, the best copy.
Yeah, wait.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Yeah, this is like...
the hands came out and he's traumatized, so just give him...
it sucks because the cape is, like, stuck in it. If I'm going to send this back.
Yeah.
Dude, that is glossy.
Yeah.
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 It's not as glossy as others that I've seen.
Sean, would it be a trouble to pull out your one copy that's matte? Because Tom said they all gloss. Tom, I'm telling you, thank you, Mike, for doing that. You know, now I'm just gonna set my expectations properly. I'm not gonna get a non-glossy copy. But Tom, Sean has we're gonna get started on the discussion, but we'll let Sean pull that out. Sean has a matte copy, and I've seen a couple reviews on YouTube where they're matte. So I guess that's going to be my same fate. So at least I know now. I've prepared myself for it. But it looks like, Chris has got his proper introduction ready. He's got the belt out. Maybe he was taking the belt out because he was ready to celebrate for the Matt Batman that didn't happen. But Chris, we're going to put you on the spot. Here you go.
Yeah, you thought I wasn't going to have the belt today. No. We got to do it every single time. And just because we were disappointed that it wasn't Matt doesn't mean the stream won't be fire the rest of it. So like it up. Let's get hype. We're about ready to talk about Thrawn. Woo!
Heck yeah. We're going to get started. We're actually going to jump into, before we jump into Thrawn, we got to tease him with Thrawn, Chris. We're going to, because I feel like, I don't know about people in the chat. It seems like a lot of people aren't too excited about this figure, but it's a very important thing to talk about, not only because I think it looks good, but also because that USB lightsaber, Chris. And of course, I'm talking about our Grand Inquisitor here. So let me pull up the photos here as Sean is grabbing his matte God copy of Batman. So guys, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to jump into the Grand Inquisitor. What is there really to say about this, guys? I understand with this show, there's a lot of mixed opinions, but I think all of us can agree in terms of execution on the cut and sew and the tailoring and everything, and the head sculpt on this figure. I think he looks fantastic. Really quickly, let me pull up Sean while he has it out. I don't know if we'll be able to tell if we get a little more light. Yeah, so there you go, Tom. As you could see, it's very much matte. Like his is perfect in terms of what the finish you would expect it to be. Like he got a really good copy. And Sean, you bought multiples, right? And one of yours wasn't matte, correct?
Yeah, I bought 2. So I got one flat and one glossy.
Okay, so Yeah, guys, I guess it's kind of a lottery. You know, maybe the one that he got is Matt. They forgot to code it, and he kind of got lucky there. I don't know. You know, my theory was maybe that they fixed the last bash, but unfortunately, obviously, we saw with Mike's, he got a glossy one. But yeah, guys, we're talking about the Grand Inquisitor here, and once again, I know a lot of people aren't extremely hyped about this figure, but I think we can all agree once again in terms of the execution, the head sculpt, the likeness to how he appeared in the show. I think he looks great. We do have a shot here. This is actually USB powered, this chest emblem here. However, don't get your hopes up. This is not what the USB lightsaber looks like. So the saber itself is Photoshopped. The chest color does not appear to be Photoshopped, at least based on what I've seen in the videos. That looks about accurate of what it looks like with the USB power plugged in. Unfortunately, the saber is not that bright. You guys will see in the video what it actually looks like. But once again, though, I think in terms of execution, and Chris and I were talking about this earlier, the eyes, man, the eyes look incredible. I love, you know, those deep, dark red Sith eyes. I think they did a fantastic job here. And I'm really excited for this one, guys. If you weren't a fan of Kenobi, I know there's a lot of people out there that probably are still using these to make themselves like a rebel style display with all the Inquisitors with Darth Vader in front of them. So there's a lot of different ways you can utilize this figure and still enjoy it if you don't like the Kenobi show. So I think this looks really good. Don says that Sideshow called this the corpse white paint. I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Corpse white. Yeah, Matt says, look how bright that USB lightsaber is. Oh wait, yeah, that's a little bit of a bait and switch there. I feel like, you know, they normally Photoshop the lightsabers and we know that, but I feel like for these photos, maybe they could have dulled it down a little bit because I'm sure a lot of people got hyped up. Once again, guys, you'll see it doesn't look like that. It looks like your normal, you know, battery powered saber just with USB. Yeah, that's kind of what we expected, you know, especially with the price point at $265. You know, we didn't expect much in terms of them doing a brighter saber there.
It just won't die out in 20 minutes.
Exactly, right? So, you know, guys, and again, we'll look at the video, but it's not a total loss because I still think the USB power adds a lot of value for me. Because you don't have to use those crappy little batteries. You can have it on in your display, and like Chris said, it won't die out on you in 20 minutes. If you guys, you know, you've opened up figures, especially us that do reviews, when you put in those batteries, sometimes I don't do it because it's a pain in the butt, but when you sometimes put in those batteries, and I've done it in the past, they die out sometimes while you're filming the review. So it's like, that's really how long they last. But Evil Seeker is getting Grand Inquisitor. It's great to see because, you know, I think a lot of people probably passed on this one. Let's see. Eclectic Collector, what's up? Eclectic Collector says, hello, everyone. Hello to you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. We very much appreciate it. Don says, CCFL, I will still order. Yeah, if you want something real bright and show-stopping. And guys, for those of you who aren't aware, like I used this example with Chris when we were talking about it the other day. If you guys collect high-end lightsabers versus like the lower-end like legacy lightsabers, the ones that aren't as bright, they have in-hilt LEDs versus the nicer ones, they have a higher-end blade where all of the LEDs are actually in the blade. And that's the same case with this. You know, with this, right, you have an in-hilt LED on these Hot Toys hilts versus like the CCFLs, the entire blade is lit up. So it's obviously much brighter, looks much more consistent in the lighting. It doesn't get dimmer towards the tip. So definitely keep that in mind and kind of keep your expectation there moving forward with these USB sabers. It's just going to be that USB power, if anything. But yeah, guys, I don't have much else to say. I had this on pre-order. I still think that there's hope that Hot Toys is going to give us the other two from this line. We've seen huge gaps in announcements from Hot Toys, so I still think there's hope. We just got to wait and see. But even so, if we just get Reva and this guy, I'll be very happy. So, but moving on though to Chris. Chris, what are your thoughts on this guy? Again, we haven't taken a look at the USB power yet. We're going to take a look at that shortly. But overall, what are your thoughts on the final product? And did you pick this one up?
I did. He's on pre-order, and hopefully he is the next guy to come on the channel. So whenever they decide to send out the notices or whatever, he's for sure coming home. I think he looks great. You already touched that. We touched on the eyes and stuff. I know he wasn't like what people expected, like look-wise, for him to come in live action, but I actually liked him in the show. I liked a lot of the dialogue and how he portrayed the character as well, you know. And that's basically why I picked them up. For some reason, the lightsabers, like when you put those batteries in, I think they've gotten a little bit better over time with how bright it is, because the past few I've had actually aren't that bad lit up. Now in a bright setting, it probably blows it out a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty good. So I'm assuming that if it's on its own like power source and can stay lit, it should do like the trick. Now, obviously, it won't compare to CCFL. You stated that. If you want like that real life look, I suggest go get those. But if you're just looking for it to be lit, at least it elevates your display a little bit. Because right now they're just like clear, translucent, like colored plastic. So it's better than nothing in my opinion. But yeah, not much to negative to say about him. I like the chest box as well, and we'll just see how he's able to pose and stuff.
Yeah,
that's kind of another thing. I want to see what I'm able to do with him, especially having a dual lightsaber, like double bladed, other than Darth Maul. What it'll be like.
Right. It adds a bit of challenge to your posing, because you gotta somehow make room for that second blade sticking out of the back. So, but it's fun to pose figures like that, right? Because it kind of helps you avoid museum posing as much, because you kind of have to work a little bit more at it. But yeah, I totally agree. And then something that I didn't mention, but Chris, you kind of touched on it, posability. This guy does have a full cloth undersuit, and I think he's going to pose extremely well. I can just kind of see it, and the separation between that gauntlet and the shoulder armor, there's a nice gap in between there. I think the arms are going to get nice and close to the body. So yeah, I think this one's going to be a banger when it comes to posability. But I guess like you said, we'll have to wait and see once we get it in hand. But Wolf Moon is here. Wolf Moon says the USB lightsaber doesn't look as bright. Yeah, like I said, we're going to take a look at it. These photos, guys, once again, if you're just hopping in here, these aren't representative of what it actually looks like. So we'll see that in the video towards the end of the discussion on this figure. And hello to you, Wolf Moon. And Blackbird Tech is here. What's up, Blackbird Tech? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Mike, I know you and I had a discussion about this one, so I do want you to share your thoughts on kind of what we were talking about, with the overall character design and your thoughts on that. And then, kind of knowing that, your thoughts on the figure at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, first of all, sorry I had to step away. I needed some tissues because I was crying over my Batman figure.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
No, actually, the whole thing like exploded. I had mouth plates and everything all over the floor, and I needed to collect everything before the cats just totally made them disappear forever.
Dude, I feel your pain. I've got cats too.
Yeah. So now that that's out of the way, and I will be sending that back to Sideshow, by the way, because I'm kind of annoyed. Yeah. But I think they'll be cool about it because I called them beforehand. And I was like, hey, if this is the wrong like paint on this, I want to send it back.
Oh,
they said like, yeah, we're aware of it. We just have no way of knowing which batch we're sending to people.
That's a good tip for me, dude, because I know I'm going to get screwed too. So now I know what to do.
Yeah, dude. So anyway, as far as this guy, I'm really excited for him because like I look at this as a Rebels character, not necessarily his Obi-Wan appearance. Like,
exactly.
I'll be honest, man, like I missed like what you guys had said about him before I got back on, but like I hated his appearance in Kenobi. I thought like they didn't do this character justice at all. The actor said he never watched a single episode of Rebels. He didn't care. He was like creating his own character,
which is very usually abnormal for Star Wars actors because they usually do pretty good research,
Yeah, exactly. It's like extremely egotistical, and I found that to be just a big turnoff as far as like the actor and his performance and everything, because you can tell that it was totally divorced of what we saw in Rebels.
Yeah.
That aside, I am still able to, in my head, separate it and have him appear with the Ahsoka crew and the rest of the characters we're going to get from her show. So that's what I'm really excited about. Yeah, like you said, I had mentioned to you, I wish he had more of that Powan shaped head. A lot of people say like, well, it's a translation from the animation, but okay, but the animation was a translation from live action because we had seen this species in episode 3.
Yep, and Revenge of the Sith, yeah.
Right. So, and they can't make the excuse like, well, there were complex stunts that he had to do, and no, he didn't do anything. He stood there, he got stabbed, and then he stood there and had a blade spin. Like, he really didn't do anything that required, like, Ahsoka's type of action, for example, with the Leku.
And he got stabbed, too,
Revenge does wonders for the body.
Real quick, I want to say what's up to Jeremy from Plastic Hero Collectibles. And by the way, guys, Don't listen to Jeremy. Do not start calling me an influencer. Please don't. Don't listen to Jeremy. But guys, there's a link in the description. If you guys any figure needs at all, hit up Jeremy. I know he's helped you guys out a lot over the past couple months, and we very much appreciate it. But thank you so much, Jeremy, for being here. But sorry, Mike, to cut you off.
Yeah. All that being said, though, I really love the head sculpt. I love the tailoring it. The way the pants look, the way they meet the boots, like everything looks perfect on them. Even like the interior detail on that cape, like the texture of that fabric looks awesome.
Oh yeah.
I'm still very curious to see the USB power because I have not. Is this is Sideshow's video? Okay, I have seen this, and they kind of just barely show the back of it. And as far as I recall, they don't even show it lit really, or if they do, it's against this white background.
In this video, I don't believe they show it lit at all.
I don't think they show it lit at all.
Which is very interesting, right? Like, did they know it was dim, or they just not, they didn't care to include it in the video because they were just showcasing the figure? I don't know, but
yeah. So we still have to find out like what how we feel about this new technology, I guess. But and then there's like loom on the belt, which I think is it just that red square on the belt? Okay.
Yeah.
But
I believe so.
But yeah, I'm pumped to get this figure. Like I said, I have Obi-Wan, but I'm gonna have Obi-Wan with like Vader from the show or something like that. And this guy's probably gonna be with my Rebels display. So I'm pumped for him.
Yeah, dude. And like I love that you said like having these with the Kenobi figures, because that's like my grand vision is like, one side has Vader and all the Inquisitors, and the other side is Hera, Thrawn, or Thrawn would be with Vader and the Inquisitors too, but Thrawn, Hera, Chopper, Hot Toys has really, really given us some treats here with this Ahsoka line. So
they all go together.
Exactly.
Like even the Vader, like the only switch is the crack is on the other side.
Right.
So like that could be a Rebels Vader too.
Right. And you can have, Ahsoka. Obviously, we haven't received a Rebels Vader, Rebels Ahsoka release, but you could make it work. Maybe Ahsoka the White, would fit with that one. So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking is definitely going to be coming out. So
yeah.
Anyway, there's a lot you can do with this if you're a fan of the animation. I mean, if you're a fan of the Kenobi show, I'm not knocking you at all. I just didn't happen to like it. But if you're going to pose him up with Reva and I guess the fifth brother hasn't been announced yet officially.
The other two haven't been announced. But like I said, I still think it's a possibility that they'll just randomly drop those. And I'm sure they won't last very long on Sideshow, but
yeah, a Kenobi display is going to be sick.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your thoughts, Mike. Some great thoughts. I want to say what's up to some people in the chat real quick. I see some people popping in. What's up? HG says, hey, Hot Toys Hotline panel and chat. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for dropping in. It's so great to have you here as always. Ian is here. Let's see. Ian says, one of many things Kenobi got wrong. Cool looking figure though. Yeah. And like Mike was kind of touching on, you can kind of separate, the show from the figure. And we often do that, right? Matrix 4, perfect example. I bought that figure. That movie was terrible, but I think the figure looked great. I love Keanu Reeves. So I had to add it to my collection and I don't regret it at all. Big Dog Pound says, do you guys think the Grand Inquisitor will be a chase figure? Hot Toys Hotline, collect the man. He's tagging us all. That's a good question. It's tough to say because lately with these random like low batch figures, it's very random. Like Crosshair, out of all of the Bad Batch, he was the one to pop off, and he's selling for like over $400 on eBay. So it's like it's so hard to predict. I don't want to say like, oh, everybody buy up a Grand Inquisitor, but I will say this one was definitely very low pre-order numbers in terms of like comparison to more popular stuff. I think this one was very low. So there's definitely going to be more out there, but also you gotta think when we're talking about a chase, it's less out there with a demand to meet it. And I'm not sure we have that demand to meet it, but as Mike said, these figures go with the Kenobi, with the Kenobi and Ahsoka figures together, they all go together. So that might cause some people to go back to the drawing board and say, crap, I should have pre-ordered that one. So I honestly couldn't say one way or the other, but I think, it could go either way. I really do.
Yeah, but wasn't he like not even the first one with USB powered lightsaber? Like I'm pretty sure there was others from the line before him, right?
With USB?
Yeah.
Like I think Kenobi was the first announced.
Yeah, Kenobi was the first USB power.
But this is the first
Yeah,
release.
so the fact that he's coming out, that probably would insist it is a lower batch of some sort.
No, I'm not arguing that it's not a lower batch. I'm saying he's asking if it's going to be a chase figure. Like, are people going to pay extra money to get this guy?
Yeah, I know that, but I was
just
just going off of what you said, and I answered his question just by saying, like, it all depends once it comes out, like how big the hype is. You know, when people get it in hand, like, oh, the posability is amazing, or like these paint apps, and you end up liking the USB, like that all factors, I think.
Very true. Yep. First release of USB Saber. Yep. Yeah, he's the very first one. Obviously, we have a lot more on the horizon, but yes, you guys are correct. This is the very first actually released figure where we get to see the USB Saber. And yeah, guys, you know, before we move on to Sean, there was parts of Kenobi that I really enjoyed. You know, being a fan of the prequels, especially Revenge of the Sith, it's hard not to enjoy some of the stuff in it. But of course, like with everything, you're not going to love everything about it. But if you like this figure, there's a lot of ways to enjoy this figure without having to love the Kenobi show. So
yeah, and real quick, I just want to say, like, just to be clear, I'm not crapping on anybody else's taste. Like, I know maybe I came off harsh there.
No.
But
I was reading the comments mainly.
Yeah,
I wasn't talking about what you addressed. I was just just a general statement of how, you know, it's great that you can collect things even though you don't necessarily like the representation, or excuse me, the show that the representation is coming from. You can separate that and still enjoy the figure.
Totally. And if people haven't done this, because one of the best things about that show was the fight between Obi-Wan and Vader. Mm-hmm. But a better way to watch it is on YouTube, where they edited it so that it's not cutting back and forth from Reva to them. So you can just see the whole fight together.
Yeah. I
don't know, that is a lot more of an enjoyable experience, seeing them face off without cutting away.
That sounds cool. I haven't seen that. I might have to check it out.
You should check that out.
And Don says this might become this becomes a chase if we get a Rebels Kanan / Ezra. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath for the Kanan, though I would love to see it. But you know, Ezra is very much possible, whether from this season or the next. But I think we're gonna get an Ezra for sure. Sean, as we go to you, it's a perfect moment in this video that I pause. I'm gonna unpause it here, but Sean, share with us your thoughts on this figure as a whole. Did you pick this one up? And also, excuse me, feel free to comment on the USB power setup that we can see here in the video. As you can see, it kind of plugs in up top, and then we've got the power box down here with an on-off switch, as Matt mentioned earlier. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this figure overall, Sean? And like I said, did you pick this one up? And how do you feel about the USB power execution without seeing obviously the saber lit up yet? How do you feel about the execution here of how it sets up on the figure in the back?
Regarding how this is set up here, you know, it just depends. If you have a black background, everything's going to be fine for you. But if you have a white background, you might want to use some different type of cables to connect it so it's hidden more.
Yeah, that's true.
Regarding the figure itself, I think they did a really good job with the figure, the design. It looks like the character from the show. On the actor from the show, it was a betrayal of Star Wars for what he did, because I mean, so many actors spend their personal time, their personal money researching a role. And this individual is not good enough to have that mentality that he doesn't need to research his role. You know, he could have done, if he took time to research the role and found out something, I bet Jon Favreau would have found a way to keep him in Star Wars. But the public will come out and say that he had no interest in researching anything for Star Wars for his character. I don't see them bringing him back.
They had writers like that too.
So what was that?
He said that you're saying that they have writers like that too.
Well, in the show Kenobi, there were writers that also said they had never seen. There was a bunch on that project that
we're going down a rabbit hole right now.
Yeah,
no, we're going.
I'm not trying to bring it down the hole, but the thing is, this actor could have made it to where this character and this Hot Toys item could have been sought after, and instead it wasn't. And the excuse on why they changed what the species looks like, I'm sorry, but laughing like a moron is not a stunt.
Words of
Yeah.
wisdom from
However,
Sean.
Exactly.
the costume, the tailoring of it, both on screen and in 1/6 hot scales form, is really good. The design of it was great. I think they did a really close job, other than the face for matching Rebels.
Yeah.
The way he walked was close to how he walked in Rebels as well. But I mean, overall, just not interested.
So you did not pick this one up.
No, Obi-Wan was just so many problems.
Can I get
It's
this?
most of the season sucked. At the very end, if they kept the original writing where we saw Commander Cody watching over Luke, why Obi-Wan left to go do something, and that's how they ended the season, that could have saved it.
Yeah.
You know, reestablishing that bond and everything else, and showing us that Obi-Wan forgave Cody and he, you know, they're still friends. I think that it
Real
could have
quick,
saved.
sorry to cut you off, Sean. We have here's the shot of the USB saber, guys. So he's about to light it up and everything. As you can see, he has it lit up. That's how dim it really is. Well, once again, it looks about the same as what you would expect from a normal battery powered saber. Again, you guys saw what I was talking about with the chest box, though, where you could see the light was pretty strong on the chest box. So at least that translates. And as you can see there, that's very interesting. He's showing that. Look at the wire running through. I guess it kind of snakes down to the back of the body in the soft goods, but definitely really cool. I love that look too, with the saber just sitting on his back. Because obviously, if you're a Rebels fan, you know, it's reminiscent of the show where he's just grabbing it off his back, you know. So that's definitely really cool to me too.
I kind of don't care for that battery pack. That, like, I still think, like, yeah, for the chest box, but like the CCFLs, they just use the one cable, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but also, like, at least the CCFL that I have, the actual pack that plugs into the wall is like this big. So, you know, and also the CCFL, you know, it's a bit longer than these sabers, it seems like, but there's trade-offs to each. I genuinely think they did a good job at the engineering, and there's a way to hide it. Obviously, in this video, I don't know if you saw in the sideshow video, Chris, there's a place where you can snap the pack onto the back of the back. He's just dangling here. So
yeah.
I think they really did the best what they can do. I don't know if there's any pulsating on this stuff. I can't tell from the video. I don't know what the need for that was, other than maybe to adapt the different cables. Maybe that's why that has that box. I'm not an electrical expert by any means. I know that's Don's thing. But yeah,
and I don't know if it's that guy's video either, but like I feel like it would have been a good opportunity to make it at least a little bit brighter. Like, I feel like I've had some of the lightsabers look brighter than that with the button cell. So I don't know if it's just this guy's video.
Right. He's got, as you can see, he's got very harsh lighting. He tried to turn it down a little bit, but it could be the lighting. But again, I wouldn't expect anything beyond what we've seen already in the past. So,
I mean, it looks a little dimmer than what a button cell would look like to me. Like, usually,
I have a feeling this technology is going to look dated pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's interesting that they weren't able to integrate some sort of more powerful circuit to make it a little bit brighter. Yeah, Sean, going back to you though. Sorry, we kind of cut you off with your rest of your thoughts.
You. Overall, with the accessories, they look good, but you know, overall, it's, you know, everyone who collect what you collect, don't freaking go off my opinion. I mean, I'm obviously a little negative towards this.
Yeah, never listen to Sean.
But visually, now listen to Sean. But visually, it does look good. But I'm still one of those original trilogy fans where once you set what a species looks like and what they are like and everything, I believe with sticking with it.
Yeah.
You know, I
agree.
For example, you know, like Chewbacca, you know, all the Wookiees, right? Do we want them all of a sudden to be clean shaven? No. You know, so something with a long.
That's like one of those cursed images, Sean. A clean shaven Chewbacca. It's one of those cursed images you see, like the memes. It's clean shaven Chewbacca. But
you know, what happens when someone switches out your Manscaped.
Oh my God. All right. We're going to move on though. Sean, I hate to cut you off, but we have so much to talk about tonight. I don't want to spend too much time on the Grand Inquisitor, but thank you for your thoughts. And I definitely agree. I definitely agree, guys. The general sentiment where it could have been a little bit brighter. I think we did set the proper expectation though, that we thought it was probably just going to be the same thing. Of course, so there's always hoping that there's going to be a little bit improvement, but we know with Hot Toys, that's not always the case. So, but moving on, guys, we're going to move on to Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, jumping right into this one, guys, I know there's been some discussion. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to address one of the complaints. There hasn't been too many complaints about this one. I feel like most people were really happy with this one. But I wanted to address one of the main complaints I saw with this one, and that's that it's not accurate to the show because it's not, there's no belly on the figure. He doesn't have that loose skin on his neck. And me personally, I think what Hot Toys did here was kind of give us something that was kind of a nod to the animated show, because you guys know Thrawn in the animated show and Rebels, he's very slender. He's a very slender guy. So I think what they did was typical Hot Toys fashion, because they do this a lot. You guys know this. They'll adapt it to how they see fit in terms of media that's pulled from originally an animated show or something. So I don't personally have an issue with it. I actually kind of prefer it this way. I think it looks better personally. That's nothing against the actor. Everybody ages one day, but it's just, I think that the way they did it was smart. I think he looks great. The head sculpt is mind blowing. Truly, like lately, guys, these head sculpts, especially from the Ahsoka line, have been just mind blowing, and they got the eyes right. I love how the hair looks. Just overall, I think they did a fantastic job. And I think a figure like this, guys, is really gonna raise the want for director Krennic and Grand Moff Tarkin. If you guys don't have those figures already, I bet you when this figure actually officially gets released, it's gonna be they're gonna become very sought after, because having them all together, that's going to be like the ultimate display with all the officers and everything, so it's going to look really, really good having them together. And I think a lot of people are going to start hunting those down now, but of course, more so when it actually releases. But guys, I think he looks fantastic. I really couldn't be happier with this. I kind of lost my mind. I remember I was laying in bed with my girlfriend. And I was like, oh my God. And she was like, what? And I was like, oh, it's a new Hot Toy. She's like, of course it is. But when I saw this, I was so happy. And then how cool, I'm always talking about hands. How cool is this, man? I mean, I'm 100% going to pose mine like this. Like, that is just so cool. That is the wheeling and dealing, scheming Thrawn that we know and love, with those hands there, just looking menacing, thinking about his next move, because he's a very calculated man. But guys, this is beautiful. And then if we get a little bit closer on the fabric, there's some like serious texture to it. It just looks great. I'm very, very excited about this. If the prototype is anything, or excuse me, the final product's anything like the prototype, I'm over the moon about this one, guys. And yes, he does have the PERS rolling eyeball system. And also this one, it came in at a very good price. I think it was what, guys, like $265, $260. Very, very inexpensive in terms of talking about prices on certain figures versus the Star Wars line. The Star Wars line has been coming in much cheaper at a much more affordable price. And that's no exception on this one. And guys, he looks great. There's really not much else to say. Even I think the hologram that comes with him is probably the best hologram they've ever done. It looks fantastic. This is just so cool to me. And like, I remember like talking to Mike about this, and Mike and I were really excited for this one, so we're really hoping for this one to happen. And imagine, it's like one of those feelings where it's like you've hoped for something like this for so long, and when it finally happens, it's almost like unreal that it happened. So definitely really, really exciting. I think he looks fantastic. I know a lot of people were asking me about it because they know I was begging for it. And Matt, I know Matt was right there with me begging for it. Matt says some scenes it didn't look like he had a belly. I thought he was a thin guy in real life. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get what people are saying though. I do remember in some scenes where you can kind of see a bit of a belly, but again, I mean, he's an older guy. He's a human being. It is what it is. I personally wouldn't have cared if we got the belly on the figure, like a slight belly, or if we got this, but personally, in terms of being more true to the animated show and kind of giving us a mix of that, I could see the vision here with this version of Thrawn. So I'm really excited. There's really not much else to say about it. I think he looks fantastic. But I want to actually jump to you, Chris, because I know you had some really interesting thoughts about this one, and you're really excited about this one too. Because I know you're kind of locked in on that Ahsoka line like I am. What are your thoughts on the Thrawn? And are you happy with the execution? You know, the discussion about like it not being properly proportioned to the actual actor. What are your thoughts overall?
Yeah, I think I agree with you with how he looks or whatever, doing the mix thing. And it's not the first time they've done something like that. Like when they did the Clone Wars Ahsoka, they kind of didn't make it look fully animated. They took almost a live action adaptation to it. So it's not something that bothers me or whatever. And I think they killed the likeness regardless if he has that extra underneath the chin or whatever. I think he looks absolutely amazing. And the hologram, we had talked about that as well before. That's actually one of my favorite pieces, even though it being like a hologram as an accessory, usually we don't care too much for those. But the way this one looks, and I guess how they photoshopped it in some photos, it just looks
they kind of
really
baited
cool.
us with that one. It looked like it was lit up, but
and
as far
the
as I know,
fact
it's
you get
not.
that table with it too, I've
know.
heard or whatever. Like
Let
that's,
me, there's
that's
a
icing
better
on the
photo
cake,
of it
to
right
be
there.
honest. Like that,
Yeah.
it comes with that, so it's an actual like piece that can go next to him.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I will say, and you already touched on it, is as soon as I saw this, I was like, man, he's going to be my first like officer, like Imperial officer, or whatever. And I don't have anybody else. And I instantly thought of Tarkin, and I was like, well, he's freaking already up there in price, so I can only imagine. So
it's crazy, Chris. Like getting him by himself is like less cost effective than buying the set right now. Because a lot of people want the single box version because they don't care to get another Vader. So because of that, it drove up the price on the single box. But it's almost like you might as well just buy the 2-pack because the 2-pack's cheaper overall if you do value for value per figure. It's crazy. I wanted to real quick, Chris, while we're discussing it, maybe you could touch on this as well. By the way, what's up to Trevor, a 1/6 shooter? Big shout out to Trevor. Always check out his channel, guys. Whenever you see him, head on over to his channel. Trevor says they have to get these approved by the actor too. I don't think they want to insult them by giving them a dad bod. And yeah, that's true. You know, maybe the actor maybe requested like, trim me up a little bit. But again, it's neither here nor there for me. No disrespect to the actor. I would have been fine if they made it exactly accurate to how he was in the show, because again, he's a human being. We're not talking about an animated character. It's just the decision that was made here, obviously, to kind of give us something in between. And I think he looks really cool.
They're like, here you go, sir, your very first hot toy of yourself. He's like, I look pretty dang good.
All right. Well, shoot. He's like, I mean, you might have to trim me down a little bit, but I'll take it. Let's see. Evil Seeker says finally scored a Tarkin Vader. Congratulations. That's a great set. And by the way, for those of you guys that don't know, that original A New Hope Vader is different from the one that's the 2-pack. It's definitely.
I know he's been hunting for that one.
I know. I saw him post about it not long ago, so I'm glad that you were able to pick it up. Congrats on that, dude.
Happy for you, bro.
And look at that. Perfect timing. Thrawn's twin here. We have Lane, the Midnight Collector.
Okay. If he was Paley McPasty maybe or something, but he's
Paley McPasty. I like that.
Yeah, he's got that cute, clear blue, nice effect.
I wish my skin was.
They've done just about everybody I want so far, and I agree with Matt. I need Balin and Shin, and that's literally.
I know.
Like, I'll be done. That's cherry on top. Like,
yeah.
Come on, Hot Toys.
What about Ahsoka?
Well,
there's already an Ahsoka out there, so it won't hurt me as much.
I think I would be, because my LCS just confirmed today that they completed my pre-order for Hera. So she's like the next one I'm going to be working on to get paid off from them. And then I'm going to get pre-order Thrawn. But I probably would be her. I still need Ahsoka because I don't have live action Ahsoka. So it'd be Ahsoka. If they do, I think we all assume they're going to do the Ahsoka, the white or gray Jedi version of her.
Yeah.
And then at minimum, like we all figured that's probably going to be like regular.
I want Hu Yang, dude. I want Hu Yang so bad. He's such a cool looking droid. And he has such a great personality. So I'm really hoping.
And he's
for
Doctor Who, who's back. So he's getting
right. So there's a lot of
now.
charm to him. I need Hu Yang, and it ties back to the animated show as well. So
yeah, I would probably say for myself is after Thrawn, because I'm going pretty much all in on this, at least probably 5 or 6 figures. Thrawn, and then for me, obviously it'd be Ahsoka, and then after that, I'd probably be up for more Ezra. Getting an Ezra figure would probably be like that would probably be it for me. Like that would be all the main characters that I need. I like Balin and Shin, but I don't. There comes to a certain point where I have to cut off the figures for a line. I can't buy them all, and if they start going past 6, then I'm not a big Hugh Yang fan. I thought he was all right, but like it's like I would buy a Attack of the Clone like battle droid over him.
Yeah,
because I have more connection with that.
That's fair.
But like that would probably be the end for me. Like Thrawn for bad guys, for bad guys, Thrawn is the one that I need. Like, he's really because Shin and Balin, as much as I like, especially Balin, there's not a whole lot of history to them, and we didn't get a whole lot of character development for them. So for me to go in for like what could be like a $280 figure, I want to have a little bit of more. And I know I buy troopers and stuff, which we have no connection to really because they're faceless grunts.
Unless
But
you're
they at
Captain Enoch, he's got a bit of a face.
Yeah,
but I guess you can count that.
he would be
The
like
zombie troopers, man.
I know,
Yeah, the night
man.
trooper. I mean, the night troopers.
Yeah,
are
Peyton
cool.
just brought it up. We need those troopers, Lane. They're so
Yeah,
cool,
well,
man.
well, most of the night troopers are regular guys just with broken down armor who get killed way too easily. I would say almost if they did the zombie death troopers, like because those.
Well,
you
yeah,
have an alternate
right.
head
Specifically,
sculpt.
I think that's what we're referring to, the zombie death troopers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you see the jaw and everything.
Yeah, dude, come on now. I mean, that's so easy for Hot Toys too. They could reuse some old parts. They could do that.
I mean,
Come on now. And Captain
all I'm
Enoch,
saying-
now that we got Thrawn, dude.
Even
Dude,
the
if they could do a
throwback
zombie
stuff,
Iron Man, they could.
yeah,
I mean,
when
they
they
can
went
do a lot of
back,
different
like-
stuff, but
the flashback for Clone Wars stuff, they can do stuff in there too. Like I don't know if they do another Ahsoka like a young with that, actor's likeness, but who knows? And that Sidious is still out there. If people forget about that.
Yeah,
Clone Wars
don't
looking-
sleep on that Sidious, man. We're all riding with that Sidious. That Sidious is beautiful. By the way, what's up, Pornography? He says, "Sup, boys? Where we landed? Tilted Towers. I'll see you at Tilted Towers. The new season starts tomorrow."
They are doing. I mean, the thing is, they do sometimes part of these lines do some strange figures that don't necessarily match up completely with the rest. And I have it on pre-order. Even I go kind of it doesn't really with the rest of the line really make a whole lot of sense. That Clone Trooper 501st from the Obi-Wan series, which I understand why they did it because they already had a lot of the mold. But when you look at it, the entire rest of the line of the figures, that figure has nothing.
That one got
to
a
do.
lot of hate, man. And I'm like,
Yeah.
And then mainly from people who are like clone purists. They were like, this is not accurate to the animated show. It's like, well, it's not from the animated show.
Well, it's accurate to, but that's
Right.
like the one from that line. Totally, you could just completely pass, and like it's not missing.
I just really like the uniqueness to the blue one.
Yeah.
I don't prefer it over the other clone armor that we got from Hot Toys, but I just think it's neat.
But I'm saying as part of the line, logic of the line, that is the one you could totally pass probably on because it has nothing to do with any of the of the other figures
for sure.
But that's what I got. I got that one and didn't get Reva. It's because I just didn't like the character Reva enough to want to spend $280 on it.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. I think that's very fair.
But have you guys already talked? By the way, I apologize to the panel and everybody in the chat. I know I'd said I'd probably be around this time, but
Lane, you don't need to apologize, dude. It's life, dude. No, he doesn't. Leave him alone.
Well, I need to because we've asked Chris sometimes to do that right before leaving Big Dog Pound, usually waiting for his woo.
Well, we need Chris he's a unique case. He has to apologize for everything he does wrong.
Yeah, but he gives us the best. I mean, it's because of him and also Ryan. We have the two best, super chat,
right?
Shorts in like the history of probably YouTube.
That's true.
Except some of the Denobis slicing the dice.
There you go. Tom's right. There you go. Working late to pay for figures. We understand. You got to do something, man. These figures are expensive. But real quick, again, guys, we have a lot to talk about tonight, so I'm trying to keep us contained a little bit.
Keep the train moving.
Right. We're gonna open up discussion here. But Mike, I know Mike has some thoughts. Mike, I guess we'll jump to you. I know Mike. We'll keep it going down the line here, and then we'll open it up after this. But Mike, I know you have a lot to say about this one because again, we've been like giddy like schoolgirls about this Ahsoka line. So I know you got a lot to say. Before we get started, I mean, Jeremy, you didn't have to do that, man. We got $2 Australian, $2 AUD, if you will, because Jeremy is from Australia. we're gonna do a fun little thing soon. Jeremy and I, we're gonna do some snack swapping. He's gonna give me some Australian stuff. I'm gonna give him some stuff from here. I'm gonna give him some local Baltimore delicacies that he may or may not like. We'll find out.
Hey, listen, you
your
should ask
rabbit
him
food.
if he would be so kind. You want to trade some hot sauces with him? I have 2 Australian hot sauces that you might like.
Well, there you go,
one-
Jeremy. Add it to the list, dude.
Yeah. One's called Shit the Bed, and the other one is called Anal Leakage.
Oh,
So
Come on, bro.
have
That
a
is
look
so
at them.
hot.
They're fantastic, actually. Yeah.
All right. Well, Jeremy,
Well,
Jeremy told me to come up with a
either of
list. I
those.
thought, I thought I was doing the list for, he's telling me to come up with the list for the stuff in Australia. I'm like, dude, you come up with the list. You're the local. I'm coming up with the list for you. Anyway, Jeremy, thank you so much, my friend. Any amount counts. I know you're saying it's 20s. Any amount is very generous. I very much appreciate it. So for that, we got to give you what you asked for. Let me scroll down. I think I know which one you want. So here we go.
You got a super chat. Get a super chat.
A what?
A super chat.
Come on, I done told you, I'm about tired of this super this and super that. I'm about to put my super foot in here. Oh, hey there. Almost didn't see you again. My son must have been talking about them super chats. Well, Hottoys Hotline and I just want to say thank you very much. And whether it's rain, sleeting, or snow, we'll make sure we get your hot toys to you.
There you go. It's always funny. Chris's face gets so red every time I play that one. Chris, Jeremy asks, who's the other guy? Yeah, he's the guy you're talking to. Is that a secret? We don't know. Oh, there he is. He just came in the room. He's like, dude, he's like Jim
He comes
Carrey,
and
the
goes.
Mask. He like gets possessed, dude. Yeah, he comes. Yeah, he's got split personality. But thank you so much once again, Jeremy, for the donation. I appreciate that. Charles Lead says, are you doing a live stream eating the snack? That would be interesting. I don't think that many people would watch that. I don't know if you got, look, guys, if I end up doing the channel membership stuff, I'll do all the stupid videos you guys want because I'm not putting it on the channel as a main video. So if I end up doing that, I was telling Chris this today, I will do any stupid little videos, do some quick unboxings and stuff I normally wouldn't do. So I'm highly considering it. I just want to make sure I have the time to do it for you guys start paying your money every month. So if I ended up doing it, I will do a stupid little video. And if that's something that would interest you guys, if you're a channel member, some just random life stuff like that, I wouldn't mind doing it. Just a little like Australian food unboxing. Maybe Jeremy can show his handsome face every once in a while. Maybe he can unbox what I send him.
Well, you can see
Pete's around the
we can-
corner. Some
we
more
can just see
super
Connor
chats
do
coming.
drink some Foster's beer and some different types of.
No,
cheese.
no, you
Beer
want to
might
see me
affect
eat
everybody.
Vegemite straight out of the jar. That's what you want to see.
Oh
me do.
God, man, that
Oh, that
just-
would kill me.
Jeremy's giving me some pointers on what to do, what you got to pair it with. So I'm going to try it. Dude, I'll try anything, but I won't like everything. I got to try it. But I have confidence that Jeremy's going to pick me some mostly good stuff. You always got to throw in a couple nasty things as a gag, right? I'm going to give him a couple nasty things that I don't really like, and maybe he'll like or maybe he won't, But back to Thrawn. Mike, sorry, we had a whole super chat thing going on. But Mike, what are your thoughts on Thrawn, man?
I actually think you guys just, pretty much nailed it, dude. That's everything I was going to say. And I agree with you completely. I've heard some people say that there's like no weathering on the suit, but that's actually not true. They sort of like did it in a more subtle way than I think it appeared on the show.
Yeah.
So if you look like right like there along that seam line next to the code pens.
Yeah.
See how there's like a little bit of like, I'm pointing to my screen like you can see what I'm pointing
Right
at.
here?
On the other side.
Here? Or here, over here. in this.
Right down just to the right. Up. Right there. You got up. There it is. See that patch?
Oh, I did not notice that before.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
like that.
Oh yeah,
patch
look at that.
is supposed to be emulating a little bit of the dirt that was on his collar.
Good eye, Mike. I did
Yeah.
not see that, dude.
But it's even more visible in the show. So like they kind of like downplayed that a little bit. They gave you Thrawn on his best day. Maybe he was able to wash
Right.
that off a bit.
Just got back
And,
from the cleaners.
Yeah, and he like had a lighter dinner the night before or something like. So he's looking a little trimmer. But I think it's perfect. You want to see these figures as they are on their best day. And and Trevor
just about to
might be
say
on
that.
something too.
Yeah.
Like officers are higher status, so you would
Right, they're
assume them to
usually
be-
very well kept. And again, I totally understand the argument. They want it accurate to this show, and there is truth behind that. But it depends on the collector at the end of the day. Like, are you happy with this adaptation of Thrawn and how Hot Toys kind of interpreted? That's up to you.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think this will look nicer on my shelf. than if he was another 20 pounds heavier. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I think it's a close enough, accurate representation for me.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure they'll have a suit under it too, though.
You can stuff it if you want.
Right. If you wanted a bit more accurate, you can certainly like stuff a cotton ball or something in there. It wouldn't be very difficult to do.
Well, like with Mana, it might be padded. It might have a suit underneath or something. We don't know.
Yeah, like a fat suit. You never know. You never know.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, well said, dude. I know we covered most of it, but definitely a great add-on there because I did not notice that. That's a very minute detail, so definitely good eye there, dude. I did not notice that. And Sean, sorry, I said Sean. Don says in the upper right side was frayed in the show. Yeah, I remember seeing that, but I never noticed that on the figure. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, guys, if you haven't already, smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, definitely consider doing so, guys. I've been putting out some consistent content lately. Very much appreciate you guys supporting. But yeah, smash that like button, guys. This is our first stream after hitting 2,000. I very much appreciate it. What's up, to Collector? Great to have you here. Dropping the popcorn emoji as always. But Sean, did you have any final thoughts before we move on from Thrawn?
Yeah. So there's this video out about it being basically just a museum pose figure. I actually haven't seen it, but I want to. But I can see a lot of people being afraid to touch this. I know it's for the Ahsoka show, but it's more like they went towards a Rebels look for this than the actual show itself, which I do appreciate.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong about the holographic piece as well, because that thing looks amazing. And I think that's the best one yet, and probably the largest one yet.
Too bad it doesn't light up like it actually shows here, Sean. But how cool is that, though? Still,
that is like the entire design. It would be cool if we could finally see it. Like if you could get like a yellow light that just loads.
That's what Matt was saying. Matt was saying that Matt and Don, they were saying you should put like yellow LEDs under it.
But outside of that, it's I mean, it's a great looking figure.
Yeah.
You know, regarding the weight and everything else, you know, I have a dad bod. I wouldn't be insulted if someone created a 1/6 scale thing. Now, if it looked like Chris Farley, where I'm a, you know, short little midget with too long of hair and
hey, I would love a Tommy Boy figure.
Overweight. No, I'm saying if it looked like they made it look like me like that, I'd kind of be insulted. You know, at least make, you know, me being a midget that's at least 6'2". But anyways, we never got to see his pistol in the show. I kind of wanted to see him.
We'll see in action next season.
When he would fight, he maintained his professionalism and his like posture and everything.
He could fight though, dude. Like hand-to-hand combat. Thrawn's a badass, man. Like that's why, guys, this is such a huge figure, man. Like in the books, in the shows, like Thrawn's a huge character, man.
Bro, that angle right there, like the big on the right, the big photo of him, looks like he's got his chin there.
It's not, you know, it's there, but from the front, I feel like even in the show, you can kind of see it more. It's a bit more loose skin there. But again, it's, you know, apples to oranges. It really depends on you as a collector. But
who cares?
Yeah, I don't personally care. Tommy like wingy. Tommy Boy is a classic, man. Gone too soon. I know it's been years and years since he passed away, but gone too soon, man. What a comedic legend Chris Farley was.
I can't listen to the song Kung Fu Fighting without thinking of him.
I know, man. Him and David Spade were the dynamic duo. But yeah,
that's all I had to say. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most people are on board with this one. I think to sum it up, we all think he looks fantastic. I'm very excited for this one. I did pre-order from Off the Racks, guys. There's a link in the description to Off the Racks. I don't know if he still has them. I think Jeremy has pre-orders open for as well, so plenty of places to grab from, especially if you're overseas. Definitely hit up Jeremy. Beverly Hills. Yes. All right, we're gonna move on, guys. I know Control Delete just popped in and said, "Oh, thankfully I didn't miss John Wick. No offense to Thrawn." Well, yes, you did not miss John Wick. Of course you didn't miss John Wick. We can't let you miss John Wick. So
wait, we skipped Lane.
No, Lane when he first came in, he started talking about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought Lane
Lane took charge in the conversation, unlike you, Sean. He took charge.
Well, I don't need to take charge. I can just be here and I can be patient.
He just sits here and waits to be patient and take
right. No, we appreciate your patience, Sean. But we're gonna have an open discussion for this one and Kane. Of course, we're gonna talk about both of them. I did do a poll on the channel, guys, about, you know, who's picking up John, who's picking up Kane, who's picking up both. Not a lot of people are grabbing Kane, and I feel kind of disrespected for Donnie Yen, such a legendary actor, and he was such a badass in this movie. Like a blind guy kicking that much ass. Come on now, you got to give him some credit. But I get it, you know, that is at the end of the day, that is a secondary figure for most of us, you know. But we're talking about John first.
Blind.
I know, you know, who would have thought that Donnie Yen would be so good at playing blind guys? First Churret and then Kane. You know, he already had that experience from playing Churret, so he just had to bring that back. But talking about John Wick, guys, I'm very happy to see that our theory that we had on streaming, you know, because we saw that random photo pop up with some updates to the face, and we saw there was a different hairstyle, and everybody was like, "Oh, I like the original messy one more." And our theory was, betcha there's a swap out hairpiece, and I'm glad that we were right, because as you can see, that messy hair has returned. It's still there, and I think it looks really good. I love, you know, the kind of extreme separation between all the strands. I think this is very important. We often talk about, and for those of you guys that are very new to collecting, a lot of people often maybe aren't aware of what good sculpted hair looks like. And this is kind of what you want to see when we're talking about good sculpted hair, is more separations in those strands of hair to make it look a bit more natural. Sometimes if you don't have a lot of separation in the hair, it gets a little plasticky looking, if it makes sense. Of course, at the end of the day, it is made from sculpted plastic, but you get what I'm saying. Like, to me, this is an example of good sculpted hair, good separation in the hair. It's nice and flowy. It looks really nice. Also, you have the alternate hair piece. Honestly, guys, I kind of prefer this one. It's more of like a default look, but also like that kind of wet hair. I kind of want like a wet looking face too, like some sweat on the face to kind of match that. So I feel like as a more default look where he's got more of a cleaned up suit here, maybe he just swapped out. I kind of prefer this hair sculpt. But again, options are fantastic. And guys, you know, we always talk about the hands here on this channel. You guys know I'm always complaining about the hands. This guy comes with like, I think 15 hands. Something crazy like that. So you guys know I'm over the moon about that one. I'm definitely really excited because again, you know, adding those hands really just adds so much life to the figure. So to see that they kind of went all out on it, I'm really excited about that.
Your recently reviewed figure where it was a little bit light on the opposite end.
I know with the WB100 Batman lane, 6
like
hands,
4 extra hands, and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do?
Right, like it doesn't get much better than that right there, baby. No, come on now.
I mean, you can do so. And now, admittedly, DX19 didn't exactly lend itself, unlike John Wick, to maybe doing too many crazy poses.
Right, that is true. Yeah, that is true.
But still, four. I mean, when did Batman become a stormtrooper? Is lame, like
right? Because that's typically what we see with stormtrooper figures. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's definitely unfortunate, but yeah, I mean. Guys, feel free to jump in. You guys know I'm getting this one.
I'll say that tailoring looks pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, and even from the back there, Chris, you can see the back shot of him. The tailoring looks very good.
Yeah, bro. You know I don't have a John Wick figure, and I waited out. I was hoping they would do this, and the fact that they're doing Kane, it's pretty cool that I get to have like a companion piece to go with it. So he's not just all by himself like the other John Wicks have been. So
or the RoboCop or some of those other one shots, which makes it hard sometimes to justify getting when you don't have something else. I prefer
the relaxed hair as well.
Yeah.
But if I'm posing him in something super dynamic with Kane, that might be it's good to have it to be able to swap, and especially with the PERS system too. Then
yep.
Yeah, and those are my thoughts.
Like I said, for me, Chris, like if the face, like maybe if there's, let's say in another world, there's an alternate sculpt that was like wet, this hair would be perfect for that, you know, because that, you know, that scene where he's got all the water dripping on him in the club and stuff. I'm like, this hair is perfect for that. But also, you know, often when he's killing 200 people at a time, he's getting really sweaty. So you could really make it work. But I just love how this swap out hair piece frames his face. And also, guys, when I talk about hands, I mean, it really doesn't get much better than that. And yes, guys, the finger is missing. I know that was a big concern when we saw the first prototype photos. The finger is missing, but I mean, come on, bro. Like this is money right here. Like that missing finger with the hand extended. It's just that's what I'm talking about. When I'm crying about the hands and I'm saying I want more hands, just look at how much more you could do with extra hand swap outs, because typically, most Hot Toys announcements, you would just have two hands to hold the sword like that, but just that little change in a hand included just adds so much life to it, and it kind of brings you back when you see the film of those certain scenes. So I think this is awesome, man. I really, really am totally excited about this one. Let's see. Matt said it only took 7 months to release.
So I don't even know the sword, obviously the katana, but
yeah,
I don't know what all he even comes with.
So, and guys, he does have the dueling pistol, by the way, from the final scene, which is a really cool addition. Obviously, here they have the coat pulled off because this is how he looked in the dueling scene. He didn't have the coat on, but there's a lot of cool stuff included with this set, man. Let me scroll to the final photos, and guys, as I said, feel free to jump in. Nunchucks.
Yeah, I have to pick this guy. I love the special edition rifle version there. I've always found it weird when the collector editions sell out before the special editions. I'm like, they're the same price. Why are people choosing?
I guess because they have I guess they know that people are going to pre-order that exclusive version, so they get much less of the collector version. So because of that, but yeah, the puzzling thing is though, who's grabbing the collector or yeah.
Well, see, I can answer that. The problem is all of the comic book stores and third parties that deal through Sideshow.
That's true. They can't get
order
the
the
great
exclusive
point, Sean.
piece.
That makes sense.
Okay. Right.
So they can only order the collector piece.
Right. That's a great point.
There
Sean.
you go.
You're
That's
absolutely
not true.
right.
My shop gets some of that stuff.
That's my
But
shop.
I don't think they're supposed to. Yeah.
You're right. So anything that says exclusive, like it's got an exclusive accessory, that is exclusive to Sideshow only. They like off the racks. That's why I said earlier I can't get John Wick from off the racks because only Sideshow has the version with the rifle, and it's like, who's going to get John Wick without a rifle? You know what I mean? Like, but
right.
No, Sean's absolutely right. Yeah, Sean's absolutely right. But let's take a look at the weapons he comes with, guys. He comes with the bow. I don't know who would pose him with that. That's obviously from like the scene. Where is that? Tokyo? I can't remember where that was. Where
he beats the dudes to death with the nunchucks.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly where that was, but yeah, that's where the bow is from. He's got Don and I were deciphering this. He's got the Dracarys 12 here. Don said he wants to buy it. It's only $5K. It's only $5K. Yeah, just a measly $5K. But
I just wish that this, and I know it's like it's all movie specific, but I just wish he did come with more guns and a pencil and like. You can get all that stuff, you can get 1/6 guns, but
I do like the coins. I was going to ask about that too.
Yeah.
For $270,
the base is awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lane, thank you for bringing that up. We didn't mention the price. This guy's $270. I expected it to be higher, Lane, because we waited so long. I was like, if this has to do with licensing,
for a lot of accessories and stuff, but it's kind of crazy with the price, and it really feels like maybe because of economic factors. For sales, that's Hot Toys. I mean, let's not forget we're only a year ago. Black Cat, or do you mean Catwoman?
I think it's talking about Catwoman. Bronco, I would imagine maybe Bane. We probably won't.
Well, Bane's supposed to be next year.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bane. We won't see until like early to mid next year because it's got that unique body and everything. That one's probably gonna be a minute. Catwoman. They've done it before, so probably sooner than later. I know I had a bit of a delay.
It's been already delayed by like 6 months.
Yeah, but they've done it before, so any day they could just be like, here you go. We just don't know where they are in the process, unfortunately.
Well, that's what. Did you guys talk about Grand Inc. already?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he just kind of he just kind of magically showed up and like, he was like, now to March.
Right.
But I think, this really looks at when you look at maybe that outlier when they were pushing to see with Cobb Van, about similar amount of stuff, $300, and now we're seeing John Wick for $270 and Kane, for $260. I think they may have, for non-deluxe figures, without a lot of stuff, they may have found kind of where their sweet spot they have to do right now to be at, 250 to 270 range.
And I was going to say too, Lane, I think Marvel tax is definitely a thing because the Marvel figures have been coming in much more expensive than everything else.
Miles.
I mean, also we didn't talk about the Feral Predator guys because we weren't on live that week, but that figure is very expensive. And with all the issues with licensing and everything, that one doesn't surprise me. But holy crap, that figure's expensive.
Yeah. What about especially in comparison to Venom? And that thing's 21 inches.
Yeah.
But
you want more weapons though.
Yeah.
You can give them like stuff from your other figs if you got like I got.
Oh yeah,
stuff from
absolutely. And even
T1000, Walking Dead, like any weapons you could just throw to him. To be honest.
right, or you could go on eBay, and I know people part out the original John Wick 2 John Wick all the time.
There's
so you
like
can grab that
armory
stuff,
set.
No,
stuff like that.
he's getting the Return of the Jedi Scout Trooper sniper rifle.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know about Star Wars universe.
maybe you could make it work. But no,
or that weird machine gun thing that comes with the Master Sergeant.
Yeah,
that could work.
also, like guys, Kit sells a bunch of different ARs and stuff, like just like by themselves, and he's got a lot of really cool stuff on his website. So guys, if you're looking for some extra guns for your John Wick, link in the description for 1/6 Kit. He's got a million different firearms you could just buy by themselves, and you could, like Chris said, you can throw anything with this guy, anything, any sort of realistic firearm. You know, John Wick is kind of the master of all trades when it comes to firearms, so you could really give him anything, and it would make sense. You know, I mean, he comes with a bow here, guys, so you could really give him anything. So
yeah.
I
love I'm picking him up.
You're picking him up, Mike?
Yeah, I will. And I hate to say it, but like I love Donnie Yen. I love Ip Man. I think he's great in everything. I just like I need a Keanu in my I don't even need a John Wick. I just need a Keanu Reeves in my collection. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I have a whole army of Keanus right now.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome. You know, I love him as an actor. I just think it'd be just great to have him in 1/6 form. So
yeah. I agree. Eddie says, I want to make a dope crossover display with John Wick and Kill Bill. Dude, if they did some legit Kill Bill figures, I'd be so hyped. You know, I'm a big fan of Quentin Tarantino. I love all of his films. So anything from Quentin, you know, keep throwing it at me. You know, I'll take it all. But yeah, that would be like Uma Thurman from Kill Bill. That'd be amazing. I would totally take that for sure.
I want a younger Neo, another one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's crazy to think though that the original Hot Toys Neo is only, I think, from 2018. It's not that old, but I think a lot of people at the time, you know, there's so much stuff coming out, and you know, that was a different time for Hot Toys collecting. I feel like now more than ever, people are just buying everything. You know, at least to a certain extent, they're kind of buying all different IPs and stuff. So I feel like then it was less popular to buy into these heavy IPs. So it's surprising to me how many people didn't pick that one up, but yeah. Just to sum up John Wick, as we're going to move on, and if anybody has any additional thoughts, feel free to throw them in before we. Okay, Sean, really quickly throw them in, and then we'll move on to Kane.
So something important on the exclusive AR or M4, whatever it is, whatever the nomenclature is for it. It has a Trigicon secondary sight that's angled on the right side of it, so you can't see it on this side, but on the right side where the ejection port cover is, and everything else, there's actually a secondary sight on there, and it's designed from Trigicon, just like what he had in the movie. So I think that's awesome. The attention to detail on that, along with the AR platform shotgun, is also amazing. How they put the complete detail along with the grips and everything on the handguards itself for it to fit just like in the movie.
Yeah.
You
what
know,
they should have done with that, Sean, and this shout out to Don for this idea. They should have given us like a flame effect that comes out of the gun, because, you know, the gun is called the Dracarys 12. If you guys don't know the reference, that's what Daenerys says when she wants her dragons to burn people. She says Dracarys. So they named the shotgun after that. So I was like, I thought Don's idea was great. I'm like, and to be fair, when it was like super early in the morning, we didn't even notice that it came with the shotgun, because you would have expected they would give us some sort of flame effect with it. That would have been so cool. Maybe we'll have to do a custom of that or something, or maybe somebody will do it where you can just kind of
maybe one of those Star Wars pieces will fit.
Yeah, maybe those will fit, because that would have been so. Because that scene is incredible. That top-down view of him just blasting everybody, so good, man.
Yeah, and
plenty of Mando effects.
Yeah, Sean's right. I mean, like, this movie created and popularized gun fu. So those details might sound like ooh, who cares about that? But no, like this was made by gun enthusiasts. And
yeah, like Terran Tactical, like was mentioned by Rusty Bronco. The guy's a legit gunsmith. Like, he builds guns and everything. You know, he trained Keanu Reeves for the films. He's trained a lot of actors. So Keanu can actually shoot. Like, he was actually trained to do this. So, which is crazy. You know, we talked about earlier, people putting effort into a role, doing their research. I mean, you can't really do much more than that, you know?
Yeah. Go on YouTube and watch those Terran Tactical videos. Like, they're incredible.
Amazing,
all of them. And the ones with Keanu are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, there's also YouTube videos of where Keanu trained and everything on the gun range. Him, Halle Berry, Michelle Rodriguez has been there.
Yep.
One of the girls who was the body model for one of the female characters in Modern Warfare 2, the recent video game.
That girl's
She
amazing,
also
dude.
trained there.
I know exactly who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so do I. She's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, because she had to do all those animations and everything for the game. You know, obviously they do the mocap stuff. So yeah, she trained a lot for that too.
But yeah, there's going out and training and everything else. I know this movie did it for some reason. John Wick 4, not 1, 2, or 3, but 4, inspired people to start going out and buying guns.
Yeah, I wonder why.
And the thing is, though, is like that's great and everything, but don't buy guns you really don't know how to use.
Oh, of course, especially not for $5,000.
I mean, I have firearms and everything else. I build my own AR-15s, but just be responsible and don't go out to a range and be stupid, please. Don't.
Yeah, and also word to the wise from Matt here. Matt said the rifle from the John Wick 2 figure sells for $130 on eBay. So if that doesn't scare you into getting the exclusive, I don't know what does. If you want the rifle, of course. If you don't care about the rifle, and you don't want to drop the money on the pre-order right now. Here. But I feel, and I agree, Chris. I feel like the rifle, and like kind of Sean said too, it adds a lot of value to this set, and it's John Wick, dude. Like, and I think Evil Sneaker brought it up earlier, like that shot of him with the rifle, like it just, John Wick and his rifle to go hand in hand. He's a master of all these different tools, and that's one of his main tools. So, yeah, overall, I think, guys, he looks great. Again, we're going to move on because we have still have a lot to talk about, and I want to keep you guys here too late. But definitely great point, Sean. And again, it's very interesting how, these different actors and actresses, there's a varying level of effort put into their role. And I think we can all speak for Keanu. There's a reason we all love him. One, seems like a very down-to-earth guy. He puts a lot of time into his roles, and he's given us a lot of great stuff over the years through his career. So this is a must-have for a lot of us. And being that I have the John Wick 2 figure, I can tell you this blows it out of the water. So I'm really excited to have them both together, but I could definitely recognize the improvements in technology and the tailoring and everything since that figure came out. So I'm really, really excited to check this one out. So we're going to move on now, guys, to Kane. The amazing Donnie Yen here. Again, this one's going to be brief. I know a lot of people aren't picking this one up. The interesting thing about this one, guys, there's no photos of him with his glasses off. And Chris and I kind of talked about this the other day. That may be a situation where the sculpt's not quite finished, or they're just like, we don't care to show the eyes because he never had his glasses off. But I would guess that maybe it's a situation where the glasses aren't finished. It would be surprising to me if they were built into the sculpt, because they don't often do that. So I would say that maybe they're just not finished on the sculpt yet. But even with that being said, you could still see his eyes a little bit under there, but also the likeness from what you could see is really, really good. I think they did a great job on this figure. Chris, we talked about tailoring on John Wick earlier. I also think the tailoring is as good on this one, if not better, because, Donnie Yen has even more of like a slender build, and it really shows how well they tailored the figure here. The clothing on the figure here with this figure in particular. I think they did a great job. I love the dueling pistols. It's just such a random accessory, but I love, because imagine recreating the dueling pistol scene, that final duel. Obviously, we didn't get a marquee figure. Well, we got a third-party one, but it's atrocious. But if we would have got a marquee figure, that would be so cool.
You could have your Pennywise just laying down in front of the
yeah, same actor. You definitely could. Control Delete, to answer your question, it's available overseas in Hong Kong, but in the US, if you're buying from the US, it's only available directly through Sideshow. So if you're overseas, you can pre-order it at Secret Base and everything. I forgot where you said you were located. I apologize, but in the US, you can only get it through Sideshow. Evil Sneaker says that rifle is badass. Absolutely, you want the rifle. You have to get the rifle. So pay attention to the pre-order. It'll drop off probably within 5-6 months, as they do on average right now, but just keep an eye on it. Some of them sooner than later. Some of the stuff is dropping off even quicker.
That first photo of him is how I would pose him once I get him. Like just pistol on hand, like hand over his cane or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, that's a great pose, dude. That's such an iconic look.
Whoever posed
him, clean and like that speaks volumes. Like, hey, I'm here to F some stuff.
But they really understood how he moved in this film. Like, there's just subtleties about his balance in some of the other pictures, like
I know.
poses.
And he's
Perfect.
blind, dude. His character's blind. So
Yeah.
that I don't think we realize how much effort goes into playing a blind person. You know, the different things you have to think about, the ways you have to move. Like it's incredible. And also, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just getting excited because, like, once he started talking about how he moves, like, I know he mostly uses wushu, and like once you said, like, you can just see the relaxedness of, like, even in figure form of his arms, the way he's holding that gun, like, it's just a calm, smooth fighting style.
I'm
right,
so
and it all
impressed that
translates in all his films. Yeah,
exactly. It translates into the figure.
And real quick, guys, Jeremy said that he does have this Wick up for pre-order. So Control-Delete if you're looking for it. Jeremy is located in Australia. He gets the stuff from Hong Kong. So, and I also forgot to mention this was stated that this is limited. It's a limited pre-order window for the exclusive in Hong Kong as well. So definitely keep that in mind. If you're interested in Control-Delete, definitely reach out to Jeremy. I completely forgot that he was able to get these. So from Singapore. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. But yeah, I totally agree, guys. And if you haven't seen this film, you may look at him and you're like, oh, this is the villain in the movie. He's not. You have to see the film. There's so much more to this character. And I feel like parts of the film, you're like, I hate him. And then towards the end, you're like, okay, he's not that bad of a guy. So you have to watch the film to really see all the different aspects of this character. But he's definitely awesome. And I already picked this one up. Like I said, I grabbed this one from Off the Racks myself. But he's great. And guys, for the record, this one does not have an exclusive accessory. So what you see is what you get here. So you don't have to grab it from anywhere in specific. Whoever has the best price, that's where you grab it from. That's what I say, right? How many of you guys are picking this up on the panel? Because like I said earlier, when I did my poll on the channel, a lot of people were skipping out on Kane. And I was like, oh, man, that hurts. But I get it. He's like a secondary character for a lot of people. And like you said, Mike, some people might just be doing like a Keanu type thing. So maybe they don't need the Kane to go with them. But I'm grabbing the Kane. I know Chris is grabbing the Kane. Mike, you're grabbing the Kane? I'm not. So my collection is pretty much Star Wars, Batman, and then like movie icons, right? Okay.
And obviously Donnie Yen is a movie icon, but the average person walking into your home would not recognize Donnie Yen. They would recognize RoboCop. They would recognize the Predator. You know what I mean?
That's
so
true.
I'm kind of going for that level, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Like,
no, that totally makes sense.
Living room recognizability rather than collection room recognizability.
Right. That makes sense.
I told Connor I'd prefer It Man, but he's kind of expensive. So this will settle for now.
The only other thing I want to say about this figure is I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like a cashmere turtleneck he's wearing. And for them to have the lay of this garment look so realistic, I don't think you can really overlook that. Like, it is beautiful what they're able to do.
And the way it sits on his neck and everything, it looks really good.
That kind of tailoring must be so difficult. And, you know, when people ask, like, why are these things so expensive? You just show them pictures like this.
Yeah, that's very true. And yes, they will recognize.
They will recognize Jared Inway. You are right.
It's like that video. He's the GOAT. That's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looks great. Lane or Sean, did you have any additional thoughts on Chirrut before we move on? I'm calling him Chirrut.
Wow. Yeah, no, I think Kane looks cool.
Kane, thank you, Lane. I called him Chirrut.
Call him Chirrut. I was confused there for a second. Like, wait.
Well, he is Chirrut, but he's not Chirrut.
Yeah. He's still got no base. So I really like to see. Honestly, I like Donnie Yen. Like, probably I've seen as many movies going back to his ones with like Jet Li and stuff back in the 90s. And
Blade 2.
I think Kane is really, he's a very interesting character. And I can understand why, just like you said, more people are probably into Keanu, even who may not know John Wick so much. They're like, well, this is a Keanu Reeves, and apparently this is a role he's known for. So you might pick it up as Keanu fans. Yeah.
Sorry, Lane. This comment's too funny.
Yeah.
I'm highly surprised Kane didn't. Yeah, I'm shocked by that, man.
I am too.
Hottoys is like, sweet. We could save some time on this one because he's blind.
Yeah. I'm actually passing on both, even much as like John Wick. It's just there's too many figures and other stuff. Like, I'm considering, should I maybe get that Venom figure? Do I want to go in those Spider-Mans, like get the black suit? You know, do I go all in on the Ahsoka line? Or do I, that's the thing, when we're talking about like Ahsoka, what if they do 8 figures? Are you going to sacrifice other figures necessarily? Like, are you going to skip?
No,
on
Lane,
John
I'm just going to
Wick?
be stupid and buy most of them.
Well, I know
You do what you want.
I know
What
you're.
you like.
I know you're going to smash your Namemeister button and go OT for the HT. Like,
Except I don't get
20.
OT, so I'm just going to be broke.
You just
okay.
You're going HT for the OT Kaioken.
See, Evil Sneaker gets it. You don't sacrifice, Lane. You just get it all. You know.
No, but
just look at the bills later.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, and also I have a couple statues that are going to be like a couple $1,000 coming, so I have to consider that too as well.
Yeah. See, I haven't got suckered into that yet. So
I always see Lane in the Batman statue collector chat, and I was like, "Oh, you are Lane."
I know.
Another $2,000 on a statue.
No, and I'm pulling back some actually from what I was considering spending before. Like, I have a max ceiling now that I'll spend on statues. Hot toys, I have like 23 hot toys and like 5 statues or something.
Oh, you hear that? You owe $12, Lane, for copyright infringement.
Boo. But I think that if you're getting honestly, I think if you're getting John Wick from 4, you should get Kane with it, because then John Wick's going to be by himself. With Kane, even if it's not the most engaging character or your favorite character, you have something to put with them. I think that matters a little bit. I think that's what kept me like away from RoboCop was I really looked at, do I have something else to put RoboCop with? I didn't even any old, like maybe like old Terminators or something like that where I could have done RoboCop versus the Terminator or something.
Yeah, I think, Lane, it really depends on how you collect too, because like,
yeah, but there's also a lot of figures coming out. So
yeah, of course. Yeah. And then this one's going to get chalked up to no thanks. Right.
Yeah. Do you buy 6 figures in the Ahsoka line, or do you get 4? And do you have to make your mind up, or is it going to mess with you more? I mean, it depends what franchises you're into as well. If you're a big John Wick fan, they're probably going to do statues of John Wick eventually, and Kane, especially like Prime One, which is an Asia based or something, is probably going to eventually do something. I know they have the license for it. This is probably going to be the cheapest way you can get a high end collectible of these 2 characters. Probably ever, I mean, they're $530, so it's not cheap. You know what I mean? Like, it's the cheapest way to get it, where you can also pose them a little, and these guys should be highly posable. You're going to be able to do crazy poses in theory with them. You should be able to. So, but they're going to be a pass for me. It's just because I'm focusing much more on Star Wars. Yeah, it's more my main focus. That's all.
Sounds good.
Well, the real big important question, though, that I have for everyone, if John Wick was a Marvel character and he was in Captain America Civil War, would he be Team Cap, Team Iron Man, or Team Zemo?
He would, I don't know. I feel like he would be Team
He'd
Cap.
probably try and just be, I'm back, and try and annihilate
everybody. He'd be Team Cap, because he would understand the persecution that Winter Soldier faces, because, he has no control over himself. So he would absolutely be Team Cap, bro.
I'd say I'm Cap.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Yeah, he'd just be honestly Darth Revan.
That's true.
We hope.
Great question, Sean. Guys, we have to move on. I hate to move on. But we have so much stuff.
Moving on.
We got to blaze through it really quick. This is just quick information, guys. If you aren't aware, I guess the bag gate has ended. Indiana Jones is now up for pre-order in the US. I believe the deluxe, I think it's $290 for the collector and then $330 for the deluxe. The deluxe comes with an incredible display base. And this is the first figure I think that will release that has that little ankle grabber. I don't actually know. That's going to be the Joker. The Joker had the ankle. Actually, I guess how does that work though? Because this
he was shown first, but I think
you're right. I think
Joker.
The pre-order was first in Hong Kong though, so yeah, this one still would be first. I'm tripping there. This one will be first.
And this one, leather. Like, this is all real leather. Most of this,
right?
So there's a little bit more higher production.
Leather shoes, leather strap on the bag.
Kind of the dopest thing. It's posable.
Yeah. Which all
really
like
cool.
Why did I do that? The Present Toys ones and all them, they actually did posable whips surprisingly, and even like the original DX05 that has a posable whip as well. But just a quick heads up, guys. This is available, and this is available through Off the Racks as well. I did pre-order through Off the Racks, so if you're looking for it, Barrett said collector's edition for me. Yeah, I mean the base is also pretty substantial. So if you want to save a bit of space, save yourself a bit of money.
Well, that's the only major difference between them is the base, pretty much.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking I might get this one just because I'm a bit, especially actually what's driving
Dude, it's
me
a
is
Hot
that
Toys Indiana Jones figure.
Yeah,
man.
well,
Come
I was
on,
going to
you know,
say,
it's like,
it honestly was kind of driving this is after seeing the J&D statue where I went, dude, that like kind of awakened my indie thing.
yeah.
I'm not spending $1,000 on something like that. I mean, that makes me wish this was the Last Crusade Indiana Jones. But this is kind of driving me towards I might get this. But I just had a question. Well, I figured this would come up. I had a question to you guys.
Sure.
To the panel.
Matt's waiting for the Han Solo version, by the way, Lane. He's gonna pass on this one.
Han Solo, you could go buy that secondary market. Do you think this figure, because of the delay in the timing, this one coming out, it's going to get buried?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think this figure is like, because I was watching 6 Scale Mafia and he was doing one of his polls the other day. Only 25% have responded. I don't know how many were in there or whatever.
No,
I said they were going to pick it up. I think with Wick, all the Star Wars figure and everything releasing right now too, as well. You know,
Lane, for this one, you have to be a diehard Harrison Ford or Indiana Jones fan to pick it up, because any hype that they could have captured in the US, at least because of the, the issue, and it's not Hot Toys' fault, it's the licensing for the bag. I don't know, we told you guys about that before in the chat. We told you guys about the lawsuit over the use of the bag from the company that made it, and that's certainly what delayed this figure in the US. So it's not Hot Toys' fault. They got it out relatively in time with the announcement of the film. But as far as US based people, we've had plenty of time to see the film. A lot of people didn't like it. And if you're not a diehard indie fan, if you're kind of considering this one before, you might be like, never mind. And, some people, like Lane mentioned, J&D's doing new stuff for the older films. So some people may have hope that maybe Hot Toys will do a new one. Or a new one of one of the older films.
And it's more expensive than some, like just what you were talking about, like John Wick and Kane and stuff like that. It's not a huge difference, but that can make a difference.
Right. And Moostream said he dopo. See, and I know Moostream's one of those fans that, he would have grabbed anything Indiana Jones. And I'm kind of like that. I love Indiana Jones. So for me, this was a no-brainer. I have the Present Toys one. I have the Hot Toys DX05, and I'll have this one. I don't know if I'm going to keep the DX05, but still, I've had them all in hand. I love Indiana Jones. So for me, to get another Harrison Ford figure from Hot Toys, and then it's got full leather, like this is a no-brainer for me. But I get it. Like the film wasn't very well received, and like Matt's waiting for Han Solo, so I get it. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. I don't want to spend too much time on this because we could sit here all day and do this. But guys, it is available for pre-order through any place that you purchase from the US, or if you purchase from Jeremy. I know he's had pre-orders available in the past, so I'm sure he could get more because I don't believe it's closed off. You can correct me if I'm wrong if you're still here, Jeremy. But I got to move on to something that Lane, I kind of, I sent this to everybody that I possibly could because I was just so friggin' excited about this. I remember having a conversation a long time ago about Sideshow and their bread and butter and what they should do. And I remember actually it was like a Sideshow was doing like this little test thing where you could talk to like some of the Sideshow employees. It was like that little social thing that they were doing. And I remember the dude who they call Bossy Boss, he was on there, and I remember telling him, like, you guys need to do more horror figures, like, because that's what you guys are good at. People know that you're good at them. You need to put out more horror figures. And I remember saying, like, I think you guys should put out the Beetlejuice again. Everybody wants that Beetlejuice, including myself. Put out the Beetlejuice again. But never would I expected that they were going to do a Tim Curry Pennywise. And for those of you guys that don't know, this is not the newer It and It Chapter 2. This isn't Bill Skarsgård. This is Tim Curry. This is the original Pennywise. It's given away here by the balloons because obviously, the newer Pennywise, he's got that red balloon, but this is based on the Tim Curry Pennywise. This is the original adaptation of Pennywise from the It film. So this is extremely exciting for many reasons. If you're a horror fan, this is kind of one of those, you have that list of these are the characters I have to get when you're a big horror fan. Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Leatherface. I think the original Tim Curry Pennywise is part of that conversation. And I think that's the case for a lot of people.
He's a lot more terrifying, I think, than actually even Billy Skarsgård, if you just for the limit of
I love both of them, truly. Like, I think the It franchise, the newer films, it's one of the few kind of remakes that did a good job because, Friday the 13th didn't do a good job. Nightmare on Elm Street didn't do a good job. I think honestly, this has been the strongest remake in a long time.
Well,
But Tim Curry had a different portrayal of the character. He was much more creepy. And I think also what makes it more impressive is there's a lot less CGI then. It was a lot more practical stuff. And what he was able to achieve, knowing that, it just makes it that much more impressive. So
in budget's a big difference too.
right,
between
that
2000
too.
and
So, but
This is a TV film, Canadian.
Right.
I think it was Canadian produced television. So.
yeah, and it's held that much impact after all this time. And I said this too the other day, like Tim Curry is just such a legendary person, because like you got these people, like Mark Hamill, we begged for him to go to a con or, sign something for so long. Tim Curry is in such poor health right now and has been for a while, and he's still going out to cons. He's been doing signings left and right for the past 2 years. Like, this guy is a trooper. So to have a figure of him, of one of my favorite portrayals of him, next best thing would be like Little Shop of Horrors, but it's incredible. Like, I'm so excited for this. And Sideshow, if you ever listen to this is what we want to see. Do stuff like this. This was very unexpected. It was unexpected when they did the David figure from the Lost Boys, and this is even more unexpected. So I'm very, very excited about this. I don't know how many people are going to pick this one up, but I will be there day one, ready to grab it, because I'm so excited to pick this one up. And this is just really, really cool to me. And I never expected that we would get one anytime soon in the officially licensed capacity, because it was hard to say, because InArt decided to go the route of doing the newer Pennywise. So definitely really exciting, and I'm very surprised that Sideshow is the one to tackle this. So I can't wait to see. The next thing is, how are they going to implement it? Is it going to have rooted hair, sculpted hair, what have you? I think it's going to have rooted hair probably. And Ty, I know you're very excited about it, and Peyton was really excited about it as well. Ty says day one. So yeah, I mean, really exciting for me. I don't know if anybody else on the panel is interested in this one. Take care, Evil Sneaker. Evil Sneaker says, got a jet, fellas, but I enjoy the show. Hope you all have a great night. Take care, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Like I said before, one day we'll have to have you on, dude. It'd be great to have you on if you have some free time. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a good one. But Chris, I know you and I know you're kind of in a pickle with this one because somebody doesn't like clowns, but I know this is the Pennywise that you've always wanted.
He's the biggest clown here.
That's true. He is a clown, but
not the biggest, the smallest.
Okay, my bad. The most intellectually asserted in character that we currently have in place at this time.
I don't know how Sean comes up with this
like
spot.
Is in fact
All right.
That's my clown voice.
It is. Now, if we want to go by shape and size,
good, man. Take care.
Then we'll go another way. But anyway, so back to the main issue. Get over your clown issue and go buy it. That's right. You
Exactly.
clown.
It's not my clown issue.
You want it. You know you want it. You just go grab those balloons right now. Go take it. Go follow where they go. Let them lead you somewhere. Deep. Dark.
Bro, this is literally the Pennywise that I grew up with. This guy literally freaked me out when I would watch these movies, especially him coming out of the drain. And yeah, it was definitely a whole lot different back then, like you said. And those razor sharp teeth when they eventually came out, like, yeah, it was great. So this would be the Pennywise I would get if it were to come in to my collection. However, my wife, she hates clowns, any type. Doesn't matter if you're friendly or not.
Just put a black cloth over the box, and whenever you want to look at it, just lift it up.
She still won't. She was like, "I don't know what's in there."
What a hater!
We would never. Yeah. So it's just, I'll just have to admire it.
She doesn't want to see you win. Yeah, you'll be able to see it in my collection. I'm getting it for sure. But
I was like, I got other horror fans. She's like, yeah, but those don't count. Like, she's got the fear thing with clowns, and she was like, they don't eat people and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh well. But you'll be able to see it in my collection. Don't worry, dude. But
you're right. They don't eat people. They just brutally murder them in other ways. But it's cool.
All right. Like, I have Art the Clown in my collection. I have Pennywise, just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, she don't like it.
Hey, Terrifying 3, man.
It sucks because I would have gotten that Pennywise as well, because that base is absolutely amazing.
Sick.
Yeah, he got it good with the bases. InArt did a really cool base, and so did Hot Toys. So,
bro, I honestly hope he comes with like all these balloons or something. Like, I just picture him holding it in that giant suit and like pointing, and bro.
I was gonna
It's
say it seems
classic. I love this Pennywise.
it seems like sideshows like going back to their roots a little bit. Like we saw it with David. They did a whole base where he can hang with the little gross little vampire feet. So
Mhm.
I don't think that it's out of the question
love-
that maybe they'll do something different there. But
I'd love to see 2 sculpts with this too, like the one where he's like looking up with all the razor teeth, and then
yeah, they've
obviously
got
his
to. I
regular-
think they will. I mean, they gave us 2
They have
sculpts with
to.
David, so I think that there's a chance we'll get 2 sculpts.
Standard
yes.
and then like spiky teeth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's really cool. Sticking kind of along with the horror theme, though, something else that was very exciting to me, and another one where I kind of lost my mind here. You guys know I'm a big fan of Stranger Things, and honestly, I had this discussion the other day with a friend of mine, and I was like, I kind of feel like this line's dead. Like we haven't seen much from it. They just reissued all the figures. Like, why would they just reissue all the figures other than the fact that they maybe didn't sell enough? But this just blew my mind. We're getting a Vecna figure, guys. For those of you who aren't familiar, this is the main baddie that we find out in season 4. This is the main baddie of the show. This is Vecna. And to get a figure of him is extremely, extremely exciting. I do feel like he's going to be built similar to the Demogorgon. We can see some visible joints here, so it kind of looks just like the Demogorgon in that regard. But this character has a lot of different like slimy details all over him. So I'm really excited to see the full reveal on this one. But this gives me hope that maybe they're going to do some more from season 4, or they're going to do some figures from season 4. I would love to see Hopper. I would love to see Steve. Give us Max. Give us all the ones that we don't have. I would love to get like all of the older kids. They went real crazy with the Game of Thrones and the Walking Dead lines with different variations of these characters. So that's what I was hoping for with this Stranger Things line. So this is extremely exciting. I was really, really happy to see this. And it's just, again, not only is it getting a Vecna figure, but it's a sign that they haven't given up on this line. And that made me very happy. So unfortunately, this is all we got for you. There's nothing else more. This is just a tease that they've shown thus far, but I imagine sooner than later, they'll probably show us a full-on reveal for this figure. So definitely really exciting. If you're a fan of the Stranger Things line, just wanted to let you know Vecna is coming, and I'm really excited. And this is actually on the coming soon page on Sideshow already. So they already threw it up, and it says Vecna coming soon. So definitely really, really excited about that. Another company, guys, that was incredibly busy this past week was Costic Plastic. Holy crap, they announced a lot of new IPs. Now,
from all
Costic,
over the place.
From all over the place. And now, big shout out to Matt, because they originally gave us a little bit of a teaser of this character. This is obviously Chuck Norris's character from Missing in Action. And we were kind of trying to decipher, and everybody was on Facebook trying to decipher. They just threw a few things in the photo to kind of tease what it was. And Matt was the first one to guess it. And we kind of second guessed him a little bit, specifically Owen. I did a little bit, but Owen, we're going to blame Owen for that. But Matt was right, dude. He called it. And yeah, and there are photos. 2 of the figures from these reveals, we actually did see the figures at an event. So I will show you those, but I'm just going to quickly click through them. So like I said, we have Chuck Norris from Missing in Action. This is a license I'm not familiar with, so I won't pretend like I even know.
Third. Yeah,
this is really cool. Phantom of the dude.
Bro.
When it comes to classic horror, Costic Plastic is king right now. You guys know I recently did a video of their Nosferatu. And by the way, guys, that is easily one of the nicest 6-scale figures I have ever had the pleasure of owning, unboxing. The whole set, the figure, the tailoring, the paint apps. So I'm very, very interested in this company. I told you guys from the Horror of Dracula, I have the 2-pack with the Christopher Lee Dracula and the Van Helsing. So I'm really, really excited about this one. So Costic Plastic, just please keep doing this classic horror stuff. This is really cool. More just total fan service. These are IPs you never expected to be touched. So
No.
yeah, this is really cool, man. I'm excited to check out all of these classic horror figures. I hope they go through and do Wolfman, all the Universal monsters, dude. Like I really hope they go through.
Do they have like the Hammer Horror or Universal license?
I don't know if they've come out and said like that they have full licenses. Typically when I've seen the reveals, they just show you individual figures that they're doing from these licenses. So I don't know. I would hope so, dude, because they can really do a tremendous amount of stuff.
What we really need is a Charles Bronson from Death Wish 3 with Browning 30 cal and rocket launcher.
that would be interesting. How exciting is this one, though, guys?
Oh, man.
Holy crap. Like, this was the one I love the classic horror stuff, but this was the one I'm like, dude, no way are they doing a figure of this. This is so cool, man.
And they may be doing Chong Li.
Yeah,
right. If they do Chong Li, that's like, you know, I remember they did those statues a while back, Lane, and that statue sold out of Chong Li. It was very sought after.
Bolo Young.
Yeah. So this is really exciting. It's so out of left field, but it's such a classic film. And, you know, I haven't seen any officially licensed figures of Jean-Claude Van Damme. I don't think I've ever seen any officially licensed figures.
But if they did him and huge. Chong Li, like I might have to buy. If they did both of them, I might have to buy it.
Yeah,
like,
they did say, Lane. They did say. I will say this. They did say they were doing multiple figures from this film. So that tells me that they're definitely going to do Chong Li's character. Like they've got to, right?
Definitely.
You have to, bro.
Yeah, this is so cool, man. This is just classic. And someone actually. Sorry, go ahead, Chris, and then
I was just gonna say, like, one of my favorite things with him about, like, you know, very good at hitting but brick, no hit back, like before their fight, bro.
Yeah. Someone mentioned they should give him a swap out torso so he can have that full squat, like full.
Dude, can we get? Can we? Is there gonna be an alternate, like, you know, blinded screen?
I was gonna say he was.
We gotta have that.
Right? He was blinded fighting too.
Yeah, and then we gotta have like an angry face Chong Li where he's going like, you know, from the
and him with the bandana too, like
dude, imagine like hands.
You break record next, I break you.
Dude, there's so much potential. Yeah, Peyton says, Bloodsport is a classic, dude. Again, this one completely out of left field. One of those, another one I would have never guessed. So, Costic Plastic is good at that.
This is one of those movies. As a 10-year-old, like I rented this a million times, and like back then, your parents had no idea what you were renting.
What is going on?
This and then Kickboxer, so we could get that version. We can version of Jean-Claude, and
you just flood in the memories.
What was his name? The bad guy,
Tong Po.
Tong Po, who wasn't actually like who I don't think the actor actually played him.
Really quick, guys. Sorry to cut you off. Sean actually has to dip out. Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare, thank you so much for being here as always, guys. There is a link in the description to Sean's channel. Please check him out. Subscribe. Check out all his videos.
I've got to go.
Thank you so much for being here, Sean. All right, Mike's heading out too.
Sorry about
guys,
that.
thank you so much for being here. We very much appreciate you. I hope you guys have a great night.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Make your choices.
Yes,
bad choices are better.
Hey, and everyone, donate Pennywise or clowns to Chris.
Yeah, send them all to his house.
Yep.
Yeah, Don, like we were just saying, 2 sets of legs would be really cool. I know some people mention that, especially if it has seamless legs. Obviously, you'd be really scared.
You gotta make sure you can do the splits with JCWD. You have to be able to do the splits with the figure.
I know, like I feel like they'll figure it out.
You're gonna be in debt to like you're 60 at this point.
Yeah, probably.
John Wayne.
Another John Wayne figure. Honestly, though, I think the first version of John Wayne is the one that I'm gonna go for. This is really cool, but I think the first one's more iconic. But again, them sticking to these older, like John Wayne is one of those generational actors that is like, you know, one of those actors that was so iconic. Right. He'll never be matched. It's like when we talk about generational actors, you know, Clint Eastwood, who thankfully is still alive, John Wayne, you know, just there's so many actors that you can recall, like they're just generational actors. You know, you can watch their films for years and years to come, and they'll have that impact.
Well,
so
Clint, the fact that I've been able to put out 6 figures of characters he played, who in some ways you can say some of them are kind of similar to each other in certain respects and stuff, but where they can you can look at each one, even though you know it's the same guy playing them, but each character has enough, especially the Western ones. You know, with Dirty Harry, that's a little bit different, you know, because that's a quote modern.
Dirty Harry is my all-time favorite, right next to Good, the Bad, the Ugly. But I love Dirty Harry.
But
specifically, the first one's my favorite.
Where you can see the same guy, but you can still distinctly know. Maybe not the Preacher quite as much, because I don't think Pale Riders is quite as well known as some of the other ones. But where he's playing the same actor playing maybe the basic similar archetype, but yet each character is kind of distinctive from each other, and you can just look at them and go, oh, that's a man with no name. That's Josie Wales. That's, you know, the Pale Rider. That's the Preacher. That's William Money.
William Money, that one's really nice too.
You know,
I didn't pull it up for the stream, but it really nice. But yeah, this one, guys, is very, very out of left field as well. I'm not personally familiar with this actor. I've never watched any of his films, so I won't even pretend like I know.
Is this
But I saw a
from
lot of excitement.
Yojimbo, I think?
I'm not sure. I saw a lot of excitement, and guys, this is one of them that we do have a photo of, and I think he has an alternate outfit here as I scroll through. Again, looking at the likeness to the actor, I think it looks pretty good, and I think the tailoring is very nice looking. And I don't know if you guys are catching this, but he does have some really nice seamless forearms, and the Nosferatu came with swap out hands, but they have a forearm attached, and I think that is very clever.
Oh, nice.
They gave us a decent amount of them too, so I think they're going to continue to do that, and I think that
Sorry,
really adds to the realism. Sans of Iwo Jima. But yeah, you can see he has a swap out outfit again, guys. This character, I'm going to claim ignorance on this one. I don't know much about this actor, but I've heard from a lot of people he's a very legendary actor.
I think he's mostly known for the Akira Kurosawa movies that he was in.
Okay.
Like,
how cool
very
is that
much
though? That's like such a cool little and I don't know if I don't think this is a 2-pack. I think it's just alternate looks for the character, but
Right. So I don't know who that is, but coming from like as a son whose dad absolutely loves martial arts, like
Yeah.
all his movies, like he probably knows who this is. I can say that based on what I would see on like whatever movie he was, like it just comes from that culture, and I love the tailoring. I love the way this looks, even those little pieces like the Japanese that post there or whatever. It's that it just looks incredible. So even though I don't know, I'm impressed with it.
This is
very classy too. A very classy figure for sure.
This is the main character from Yojimbo, which is one of Akira Kurosawa's most famous movies.
Okay, OG fan is giving us some knowledge on this too, Lane. He says all the great Japanese. By the way, what's up, OG? OG says all the great Japanese samurai movies: Seven Samurai, Rashomon, Throne of Blood. The list goes on. Okay, so I can understand the excitement. Then again, I haven't been blessed to see these films. Maybe that's something that I need to dive into one day. But I know I saw a lot of people super excited. Yeah, Rusty Bronco says this is the Wandering Samurai, the basis of things like Mando. So obviously this has very deep roots then in film culture and film history. So again, it's just really great to see a company like this diving into this stuff that you would never expect to see an officially licensed figure for. This one I'm definitely interested in for sure. I mean, I would have preferred, a Chuck Norris from our favorite Bruce Lee film, but to have a Chuck Norris in the collection, how cool is that, dude?
Or maybe Lone Wolf McQuaid. We're in a final showdown with David Carradine.
If you put him in the collection, now he owns you.
That's true. That's true. The whole collection becomes his. And this one has those same seamless looking forearms too. I don't know if they do the swap out forearms in these because he does have the gloves, but how do you guys feel about the likeness? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's bad.
I could tell who it was. Like, yeah, it's not like Chris, but like I could be like, oh, Chuck Norris.
It doesn't look as good facial sculpt wise as the other one does for the other Japanese,
right, in terms of accuracy, but how cool is the outfit? It's just such a classic looking. There's
so many terrible movies that you could have do a Chuck Norris character.
Chuck Norris is a generational meme here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't we just do him from like, Invasion USA, which is maybe the greatest terrible movie like ever made?
I don't know if I want a figure from Invasion USA.
Going back off topic, if they on the martial arts stuff or Japanese, like if they ever did Shaw Brothers stuff, like if anybody knows like 5 Deadly Venom stuff, like
do the 5 Deadly Venoms, dude. Anything with maybe Jimmy Wang Yu from like One Armed Swordsman or Lo Lee.
I would take any of that.
Or they could have just done Chuck Norris from Enter the Dragon, and we would have been.
He wasn't in Enter the Dragon.
I'm sorry, not Enter the Dragon, but
he was in the Italian Bruce Lee.
Right.
Second to last.
Whatever. Yeah. At the end of the day, I feel like the potential of this company is huge, and it's crazy. And we're gonna get to the super chat really quick, but I think the potential of this company is huge, and I feel like a lot of people haven't really connected with this company yet because there's a lot of stuff that they've done that maybe is very niche, but I can't stress it enough, guys. And if some of these IPs interest you, give the company a chance because their stuff is second to none. Like, I really was so blown away by that Nosferatu figure. And it just made me more excited to see stuff from them in the future, because some of the stuff they're doing, like InArt did the magnetic forearms. They have swap out forearms, but they're actually pegged on. And I feel like they held a little bit better. And they also are the first in terms of officially licensed stuff, I think, to do the magnetic bases, and their magnetic bases have more magnets in them. So they've been doing this type of stuff for a long time. And I feel like a lot of people just haven't quite connected with some of their announcements, so they haven't given them a chance. This company is incredible. Tom, I know you can buy directly from Costic Plastic. That's where I got my Nosferatu from, because they do web exclusive versions you can only get from their website that have extra accessories. Or like if you're buying from Sideshow carries Costic Plastic. There's a lot of places that actually carry their products. So just search it up online. There's a lot of places that carry their stuff. But back to the super chat really quick.
That Jean Claude Van Damme, bro.
Yeah, that one's really cool. But guys, really quick, thank you so much, OG, for the $5 super chat. Very simply put, he says hello to you, OG. I think I very much appreciate you popping in towards the end of the stream here. And how about a little bit of cringe from me? We haven't played this one in a while. So you guys know it's not CGI. I just did a little bit of the dance there for you, but very much appreciate it, OG. That's very generous of you, my friend. Let's see. But moving on though, guys, we have more photos here of the missing in action Chuck Norris figure here. And I think it looks really cool. It is a Chuck Norris figure at the end of the day, so you can't really go wrong. But once again, I just wanted to highlight the company. We have a couple more things to cover before we head out, but definitely a really, really cool group of announcements from Costic Plastic. And I'm sure there's a little bit of everything for everybody there. Because again, Costic Plastic, they're one of those companies like Iconic Studios as well. There's companies like them that are just doing stuff that is definitely out of the ordinary. And as collectors, I think we can really appreciate that. And yes, Don did point out that as the incorrect M16. I'm sure they'll correct that. Tinder Connor rules. Yeah, we love it. We love it, don't we? And thank you. There's a link directly to their website. There. You said what?
They got Happy Days Fonzie on there.
Yeah, I think Nate was actually picking that one up. That wasn't one that I was personally interested in, but I think Nate's actually picking that one up, if I remember correctly. But guys, moving on, one that I am getting and that I am very interested in is our RJ McCready here from The Thing. This one has had an interesting come up here because they did improve the sculpt a little bit. Doesn't really do it justice here. I do have pictures of the sculpt in hand from the gentleman that actually sculpted this sculpt. But we do have a pre-order live for this one now. This is available. This is a Mondo figure. So you guys know Mondo does their timed releases. So this is available directly through Mondo. The time release, I believe, lasts till November 10th. And unfortunately, they kind of got us by the balls with this one because the time release includes the dog and that creepy spider head. So I feel like if you're a fan of this film, you're going to want the timed exclusive edition. In terms of pricing, you're looking at $265. I think that's pretty fair. Usually their stuff's a bit higher. Like the animated stuff that they do is a bit more expensive. But this is really exciting, guys. I'm super pumped for this one. This is one of those films you really never forget after you've seen it. It's a great classic film that I've seen many times, and I'm really, really excited to pick this one up. And really quickly, I'll show you photos of the head sculpt in hand. The hair does look a little bit chunky, and I think that the coat could be a little bit better cut, his leather jacket. But overall, I think it looks pretty solid for the price tag. And I think the likeness there, I would say it's pretty decent. Again, the hair looks a little bit chunky, I won't lie, but the snow on his beard there, I love that detail. I think it looks pretty good. And I think they nailed the signature blue eyes there. Overall, I like it a lot. I think they did a great job. There's a creepy look at I guess that's when he has the hood pulled over his head. That's a very creepy look there. But overall, guys, I'm very excited about this one. I think $265 is a very fair price tag. And I just wanted to show you guys, if you're interested in this, it looks like they extended it actually. Originally, I thought it said November 10th. Oh, I'm sorry. The regular edition is available until October 31st. I'm confusing myself. This was available starting October 31st. This is available. The time. I'm sorry, guys. We're getting to the end of the stream. My mind has become mush. You have until November 10th. I was correct, at 11:59 p.m. Central Time to pre-order this version with the dog and the head. So keep that in mind if you want it. Make sure you get your pre-order in because it will be gone for good once it's gone. And finally, quickly wanted to take a look at this because I kind of want to highlight, we always talk about third party and how, some companies do it better than others. And I think SooSoo is really doing such a fantastic job lately. Obviously, the Homelander is an exception. I've heard a lot of people complain about the Homelander. I haven't seen it in person, but what's up? Scoby-Wan is here. Scoby-Wan says, I think $265 is a great price, especially since shipping is free. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very fair for what it comes with. So I'm definitely on board with that one. I'm picking that one up for sure. Let's just sit here a while. But yeah, this is really exciting, guys. This is Blade from Blade Trinity. So I know people were saying, like, didn't Present Toys give us one? Yes, but this is from Blade Trinity. How good do these head sculpts look, though? Like, I think this looks fantastic, especially the open mouth sculpt showing the vampire teeth. I almost want to, I had the Present Toys one on order. I almost want to grab this one and then put the open mouth sculpt on the Present Toys version because I just think this sculpt looks so good. So I'm definitely really excited for this one. It seems like a lot of people are really hyped, even like with the glasses down there, man. It looks really, really good. And this is a third-party company, guys. This is SooSoo Toys. So definitely wanted to show this off in case you were curious. And that's kind of awesome, too. I love how that looks. That looks like a piece of metal there holding it up. Just overall, the Blade Trinity look is not my favorite look, but I think as an overall package, I think SooSoo Toys really knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the same effect as like Blade or Blade 2.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Just armor, but it's at the same time they're doing something a little bit different with the Wesley Snipes character, so it's not like you're just getting the Blade 1 or 2 over again. So that makes it also, if you already own one of the third party or the old Hot Toys, you can still justify getting this because it's a different outfit. That's a quote canon outfit.
Yep, exactly. And Lane, genuine leather coat, and he has that alternate look as well, which is really cool. I think this guy is a little bit more expensive. I want to say, like, excuse me, I think this is like $265, but it does come with 2 head sculpts, and he's got genuine leather and everything. So I think a lot of people are happy.
But that is getting into Hot Toys pricing. I can understand that I can understand with a third party figure for just what we were talking about. So I can understand. Yeah. But this is kind of, unless you're going to go through a third scale statue, which is not Wesley Snipes, but looks about as close as you can get to being Wesley Snipes, Blade. And we don't know where the movie, the new movie seems
right.
Like
so we should really hold on to our Wesley Snipes Blades as much as we can, because I know there's been a lot of, I know the actor who's playing Blade in the new one considered leaving until they brought on the new director. So I think he's staying now. So I think maybe
he's also getting older. But I mean, I think he's at least as old as Wesley or older than Wesley was when he played Blade in the last movie.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. This one, this is a very unexpected announcement
out of the
Present Toys. Very out of the blue. I'm hoping that maybe SooSoo Toys will pull theirs out of their bags. I'm sure they're sitting on one. Don't know how I feel about the actual relaxed head sculpt. He also looks kind of like the body build's a little off.
He does. Well,
he's kind of like short and stubby here, but not as slender as you would expect Cyclops to be, if that makes sense.
He has more of the body style of the way Jim Lee was drawing him, like on X-Men #1, where he was very built. So
I prefer like the lanky look for Cyclops myself, but I think he includes some pretty cool stuff considering this is a third-party figure. He's got this really nice looking base. And obviously this is really cool. The laser beam eye sculpt with the open mouth. That's very dynamic looking. I just think the default sculpt looks a little goofy there with the likeness. I think when I look at the sideshow version, I prefer the proportions on that one. But definitely really cool. That shows that maybe they're going to dive into the classic X-Men. Maybe they're going to give us a Wolverine and stuff like that. So we'll see. It's just very surprising. I did not expect Present Toys to ever dive into something like this. So
I just like they call it Mutant Man C.
I know.
Like
they get really creative with the names.
Right. What does that mean, huh?
Like, who the hell is Mutant Man C? But yeah, it's interesting though. He comes with a nice. I guess there's a regular version as well that doesn't come with a display base.
I like the pre-order gift is the jacket. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and they don't mention if it's leather. I think maybe some guy may have pointed out that it says leather like, so maybe a pleather again, going back to the pleather.
Yeah, but that's a nice exclusive where it's not really important with the figure because you have the actual costume, but that's a cool thing where
but he looks so cool with like the contrast with the coat on everything. I agree. I totally agree. But Yep. So definitely something out of left field from Present Toys, guys. I know this is a very long stream. Those of you, the 30 or so of you still hanging out with us, thank you so much for making it until the end.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, drop that, smack that like button, as Chris would say. If you're mad about collecting, as mad as he is about collecting, smash that like button. I'm gonna hit you with a Chris line. Or if you watch my videos, drop a like on this video. I'd very much appreciate it. But thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us. It was a great stream. I know towards the end it got a little bit long-winded, but those who are watching this on the replay, I'm sure you will appreciate it that we covered a little bit of everything this week. Yes, it was a very I know, you guys are geeking out. You guys are used to 48-hour streams, but me, 2 hours for me, I'm ready to kick.
Look what I finally got in.
Nice. The Blue Beetle Steelbook, right? Oh,
WB
was
after it did not get delivered to me on one night, and it was supposed to come by 9, and then about like 20 minutes before the late night stream I do with CW, it finally got delivered at 10:10. So I sent a very angry email about why is someone knocking on my door delivering
Karen
this an hour
Lane.
and something later.
There you go.
Exactly.
Dennis Foster is here. He says a lot of good ones coming. Can't wait for Pennywise. What's up? What's up?
My truck is getting delivered. And I'll ring your doorbell.
No, it wasn't UPS. It was effing Fetch, who I literally 2 weeks in a row on late night and CW went, I want this company. They're the worst. I literally ranted last night, as I have 2 weeks in a row. This company's the worst. Actually, no, on Monday and Tuesday I ranted. I wish they would go out to business tomorrow.
Dang, Lane's going to score.
No, they're awful.
I'd purposely come late and ring your doorbell.
I love this. I love this quote here from BDP. He says, Grand Admiral Thrawn says, smash that like button with extreme prejudice. Yes, guys, if you haven't already,
do it.
That's a great way to send us out. Guys, I do have a new review up on the channel and a comparison of the new WB100 Batman. I know a lot of you guys were very curious to see what that figure looked like. I did do a comparison to the DX19 in my video, so definitely check that out. A lot of you guys have been checking out the video, so I very much appreciate that. I did just get something in today, an accessory kit from 1/6 Kit, so I'll be doing a video on that. If you're a fan of DC, you might want to check that video out. I know Chris just did a review of C-3PO. Also Electro. He has Electro up on the channel as well. So head on over to Collecting Madness. There's a link in the description. He's got a lot of great reviews that he just put up, so definitely check him out.
Make sure
and Wolfman, and absolutely, guys, hit the like button, as I said, and thank you, Lane. And on the way out, we'll answer this question. Wolf Moon says D23 Expo is coming back next year. I wonder which hot toy will be there. Any thought? It's hard to say, dude, because last year we had a very interesting Avengers Campus Spidey that you actually grabbed for me. So I don't know. I don't know, what route they're going to go this year, because that was so random. Maybe something that's relative to current events in film. Maybe they'll surprise us. I don't know. It seems to be Marvel most of the time, so it'd be cool to have another Star Wars one, because they did the Captain America Endgame and then they did the Spidey. So we'll see what they pop up with this coming next year. So I'm very excited. Hopefully it's something very unique like the Churro Spidey, because I thought that one was really cool and I love having it in my collection, but you never know. So guys, we're going to end it on that note. Sorry. Go ahead, Lane,
I was going to ask, as we're going out the door here, either of you think anything could get released tonight if you had to take a shot?
So, I did not mention that, guys. So of course, this is a grain of salt. Take this with a grain of salt. The rumor is the Bat Cycle is either going to release at the end of this week or early next week. So that's what I'm being told. Everybody's going to be like, well, where's the Batman?
Star Wars this time.
Yeah, everybody's going to say, where's the Batman?
Star Wars.
Your guess is as good as mine.
They put out the Batpod before they put out the DX19, so they're just following their usual pattern.
I guess so, Lane. Yes, it's very exciting, Scooby-Wan. It looks awesome. I'm really excited to check it out.
My brother sent it to me.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I love those films, so I'm excited to check it out. Some guy says, I love the WB100 Batman. Yeah, dude, watch my review. You'll get my honest thoughts on it, but I think I was relatively fair. At first, I thought I was maybe being a little negative because, Matt was telling me that was the case, basically, but we have one more question. All right, one more question. Do you guys think we will get older figures because of the actor strike? We won't be getting any big movies. I mean, certainly that could affect a lot of the licensing. I mean, we see how powerful licensing really is. I mean, we have a dispute over a bag, and it takes us an extra 4 months to get a figure.
Yeah, I thought a piece of it was over though. Now, like this,
it is
like they
it is, but until it's a full greenlit thing, I don't want to jump the gun, so I don't know.
And it could be maybe not necessarily old figure, but it might mean they go a little bit deeper into, like we were talking about Ahsoka, where maybe they normally would have cut it off at like 4 or 5 figure, but they might do like a Balin or Shin Hati because they've got all that stuff and they could do it to fill out, something where maybe they may not have done that. Well, yeah, you could hope, but I think that's
Scobie-Wan, I personally think that they're gonna hit us with some eventually. Maybe they'll lose the 40th Return of the Jedi tag, but they know that people want them, so I haven't completely lost hope on that. But really quickly, guys, a quick announcement for those of you who are still here. Unfortunately, the giveaway winner, I've been trying to sort out the giveaway winner for the NECA Ninja Turtle. They did not claim the prize. I was waiting a while. I don't want to get into detail because, that's their personal thing. But because of that, I am going to re-roll the winner for that giveaway. So I will post somewhere on the Facebook group and I will reach out to the winner after I re-roll it off screen. Just because I didn't have time this week to re-roll it. And it's been packed up, ready to go in my house for the last almost 3 months. So whoever entered that giveaway, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to honor the original entry. So I'm going to re-roll the winner for that NECA Ninja Turtle. And we'll see who wins. And I will announce it on the Facebook group, on my Instagram story. And I will reach out to you if I can find you anywhere. So just wanted to let you guys know. Let's see. Moostream says Sideshow push back my final hot toy payment. I'm guessing for the figure, right? For the Batman figure. I'm guessing that's what you mean. Just give the turtle to me. Dennis, I wish I could just give it to you. I got to be fair. I would love to I think Chris entered the giveaway. I would love to just give it to him so I don't have to ship it, but I got to be fair. So I'm going to rerun it and we'll see.
He's got detail space.
I actually didn't get a chance to.
Oh, you didn't enter. Well, then you couldn't make my life easier.
But I want it if it's not going anywhere.
Oh, it's going to a person that entered the giveaway while the giveaway was active. I got to be fair. So, but that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, each and every one of you, for hanging out with us. I know it was it's football time, so we're gonna have a bit less of a crowd. But
that's what I'm going back to do as soon as we're done.
That's what I'm doing.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Enjoy your football games. I hope your teams win.
Wait,
and if not,
this totally could go on a whole nother thing. Didn't you two have another give for 2K? Didn't you mention that earlier?
Lane, what?
Lane, what?
We will, Lane. Are we discussing your giveaway idea yet? Do we want to wait for that? Do we want to spoil it yet?
You mentioned that at the beginning of the stream. So.
Yeah, and I said, but I didn't say we're going to announce it yet.
We will have something to announce.
We
will have something to announce here in the near future, guys.
We're not ready.
There you go, like Hot Toys, coming soon.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah,
it's on the coming soon.
The Hot Toys are the J&D 5 seconds Taylor are saying coming soon.
Sorry, guys.
Now.
All right. On that,
see, the UPS guy delivers at the wrong time.
Right, he's delivering the wrong. We weren't ready for that yet. I just gave a little tease. I said we'll have a 2K giveaway in the future for something.
We will.
Right, we're gonna do something. That's all you guys know.
We are really excited, and you guys will be really excited.
Right, and there's going to be more than one thing, guys. Like I said, we're going to do a lot of stuff. I'm going to dig deep in my collection and find random stuff to give away.
And finally, give me that hand in Stormtrooper disguise that you were talking
about.
No,
I'm gonna. You know what I'm going to do, Lane? I'm going to mail you the Hulk and just have him knock you out, and then I'm going to send it back.
I still got to figure out a different giveaway.
Oh, now you can. Great. So you've got Puppet Master and have killer Hot Toys. Okay, gotcha.
I have killer Puppet Master figures in my collection because I do have some of the puppets.
The great Torch and Blade are going to come after the stab and then barbecue.
And my favorite 6-shooter. But guys, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy your football games. If I don't speak to you, have a great weekend. And if you're not in the Facebook group, I don't know what Chris is doing with that stupid little camera. But if you're not in the Facebook group, head on over, guys. I would very much appreciate it.
He's in Stranger Things, probably. Take care, everybody.
So, but